what they do.
Hello.
What up?
What
big
up,
man?
KV?
Welcome to HFD podcast, guys. Big man Chris C, myself KP. What's happening?
The best podcast in the world.
How are we?
Great.
We were just having a discussion about Michael
We're having
Jordan.
a podcast.
We were having a podcast pre-podcast.
Well,
so
maybe that will be like the
that'll be like a members thing we do.
a members thing we do down the track. Like you get to hear the podcast before the cameras start rolling. But
Exactly.
hey, me man,
Good man.
what's been happening?
I was enjoying the conversation we're having about Michael Jordan.
I know. Look, man, it was a good convo. 45-23.
It was a good convo.
But you know, talking about numbers, this is episode 69, and the King of the North, it's his favorite number.
He reckons that's his favorite number.
GT23 did make us aware.
It's funny, so many people say it's their favorite number, and then you ask why, and they're like,
You can't say it.
they're like, oh, okay.
Oh, jeez.
I'll read a few of the chats, man. GT reminded us of that, like you said. Dr. Laz he's like straight into it. So we'll bring
By
up Dr. Laz here.
Grabthar's hammer.
It looks like Dr.
What a
Laz.
savings.
Yeah, so he's straight into it. I'll read a few of his things. He says, so the average cost to hold a prisoner in the US is US $50K per year. Australia is $75 to $108K per year. What the fuck? Pay me $100K to stay home. I'm good. And then Chris C popped in with a 69. Point 3. Most offenders reoffend. So why do we do good as letting them back into society? That's one thing we are gonna talk about. I missed. So point 2, he said, prisoners are no different to slave labor, forced to make rego plates, road signs, etc. for little money per day. I'm okay with that. You broke the law, asshole. I like that. Dogs and cats handed to ex-cons as pets reduce their reoffend rate significantly. Let's discuss. We will talk about that. Zakal says, hi, KP, Chris C, and everyone on the live chat tonight. Zakal, what up?
What up, Zakal?
Toby says hi, and then Dr. Laz after his
Toby, how you
little
going?
point says, good day, all.
Dr. Laz.
Dr.
All right,
Laz
man.
as
Straight
well.
into it, man.
He's
Straight into it.
So
Jeez.
we'll remember them to read out, but
We haven't even started talking about it.
he's definitely straight into it. Listen, guys, if you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe.
Make sure you like. We want to see as many likes.
We want the likes.
The likes. Really want the likes, guys. It helps get us more viewers.
More viewers.
Because YouTube looks at it and goes, oh, there's a lot of people liking this. A lot of engagement.
That's right.
Oh, we'll get more people. So liking it is very important.
We were being so loud, so they kicked us out the coffee shop. We're out the front, but
Well, we should have had this set last week when we were talking about coffee.
because we're talking about coffee.
I know.
Guy is in the chat, and he says,
Gay.
I like.
What's my last name?
Hi. You have a last name.
Do I? Do I?
Do I? Toby says he's good. That's good, man.
Toby's wild.
Nice to hear. So,
Oh, big congratulations to my man, Zach Butters, for winning the AFL Coaches Association Award tonight. Champion. Thank you.
I told you last night, I said, Butters can win the Brownlow, everything. It doesn't bother me as long as he keeps playing like Margarine against the Crows. I don't care.
I like that.
Because he's terrible against the Crows past 2 times.
I mean, everyone was terrible against
True.
the Crows.
When did social like and unlike begin? Around 1900s, actually. There you go.
Really?
Straight to the footy. Chris is always to the footy. You know, like I'm doing a Premier League show, and Dan and Chris asked me about footy.
Not the other night. I was about Spurs.
You weren't there. Chris was on the soccer the other week, so it's good. Where's Hess? I'm sure she's there watching. She's just waiting in the wings.
Waiting in the wings.
That's it.
But no, it's good to have everyone on board tonight, guys. It's got a massive topic.
It is a massive topic, man.
It's a lot to talk about, really.
Well, you asked me about.
And I know that you're really into it as well.
Yeah, well, me and Jess both. Like that guy we were talking about last time, Louis Theroux, he did a awesome documentary where he stays in San Quentin for like a week.
Oh yeah.
And that's like one of the most dangerous prisons in America.
Mm-hmm.
Just showing what it's like what they. You know, that they pretty much don't want to get out of jail. They want to stay in jail. The big time criminals, they want to stay there, and getting out, they just go back in. It's like jail pretty much makes criminals.
Well, I know a lot of places, well, especially here in South Australia, a lot of people that have gone in come back out and they see how it's like to live in the real world.
Yeah, and they just reoffend.
And they reoffend just to get back in.
Of course.
Which is sad.
Because you get You get healthcare in there, bro.
So-
you get free
yeah,
healthcare.
so-
You get free dental.
So to me, society's failed,
Yeah,
hasn't it?
yeah, 100%.
It's failed, man. We're living in a failed society. We're probably
It's
going to
true.
get clipped for that, but
It's not that. It's. I know the question is, does the prison system work? But I don't even think it's the prison system. It's the actual legal system.
yeah.
Because
Well, both. It's both.
yeah, like
Depends what country as well.
yeah, true. Like, I remember I said it to you straight away. I was like, "Have you seen the one in Norway?" And you were like, "Oh, you know a bit about this." And you were like, "I saw it recently on TikTok," and I'm like, "We'll bring up the video for it in a second." But like, I mean, they got their own units, these blokes, because they're trying to
Yeah, it's crazy.
help them in a different way. So you got a guy, and he tells you, "I'm here for first-degree murder," and he's holding a knife, cutting a tomato, and it's like,
Yeah, but what's the rehabilitation like? Like when they leave, are they
well,
rehabilitated?
when
That's
you
the
watch
question.
the documentary, I think his name's Raphael Rowe. It's on Netflix. It's called The World's
Yeah.
Toughest Prisons. It's got like 8 seasons. And in one of the seasons, he visits that one and he tells you the stats at the end. I don't know them off the top of my head, but I don't think it's much better.
But you're giving a murderer
Yeah,
a
I know.
Xbox.
Yeah, I know. And a flat screen TV and
Yeah, like
yeah. Al Capone's jail cell was like an executive office. Exactly. Which is well documented.
but then there's the other side as well. You've got that, and then you've got the extreme on the other side where it's so bad
Yeah.
that people are dying daily
Yeah.
in a jail that's like overrun with people everywhere. They don't even, some of them don't even have cells.
Well,
Have you seen that one?
I've seen them all,
That's-
yeah. Well, I didn't actually know this, and then I sat down with my dad and talked to him about it because I watched it on a documentary. One of the most dangerous prisons in the world up until about 5 years ago was considered like arguably the worst prison in the world was in Cyprus, in Nicosia. It was so dangerous because there's so much Russian mafia and now they've put this warden in charge and she's like making it like a day camp, like trying to make it the other way.
Yeah.
Like all friendly. They've got like a fountain and stuff there. Whereas 5 years ago, it was so notorious and like people walking up beheading people and like
That's crazy.
it was mad. And I asked my dad, I was like, "What's with the Nicosia prison?" And Baba goes, "Oh, it's fucking crazy." So then I made him tell me about it, and he goes, "Yeah, it was."
Is
it
that
was
on the
mad."
Greek side?
Yes, Nicosia is split.
So does that mean there's a lot of crime in
Dude, there's
Cyprus?
both in there. The Russian mafia are huge in Cyprus.
Oh, right.
Huge.
Wow.
They're like
Because there's a place in Russia that's bad too.
there's an East
it's
German
called
one.
Dolphins.
There's a German one I've seen, right? And they
Yeah.
still go by like the East German regime, and they're like, it's crazy. I reckon that's the craziest one I saw.
Yeah.
When he went to it, they had the hole. You know how everyone has the hole, like isolation.
Yeah.
But their hole was you go in this concrete block room, and it steps down. And it's pitch black, and they start filling it with water, and then you're up on your tippy toes, and the water's here, and you're in there.
No, it's
Like just torture in the hole.
and yeah.
That was in East Germany.
That's crazy.
It's considered Germany now, but the prison's still there. And like those prisoners tell stories about how it was run like that.
No, because there's the one in Russia.
Oh, that's crazy too.
They blindfold you before you go in,
Yeah,
so you
so
don't
you
know.
don't know.
They don't know how to get out.
And the hole, they've got like a hole there. I've watched it. It's like a meter, but it's like a square meter. This,
Yeah.
And they put you in there. Like the guy tested it. He goes in there for like 10 minutes, and he goes, "I felt like I was in there for hours." He goes, "Because it's so small and constricted. You're butt naked." Yeah, they're crazy. That's all the ex-Russian countries have got this, like Slovakia. They've all got these crazy prisons like that because they're under the
Yeah.
you know.
And then you go to Scandinavia.
And then you go to Scandinavia, you're treated like a king. May as well just go murder someone, you get a free house.
Yeah.
It's like,
Unbelievable.
I know, it's crazy. I'll read some of the comments.
Unbelievable.
Jail should be like the old days. Hard labor in black and white jumpsuits all day, guy says. And chain gangs, Dr. Laz is saying. And look up the Tent City Jail. Prisoners wear pink. The only TV are cartoons and Sesame Street. No salt or pepper. Live in tents. There you go. You moment you commit a crime, you're a criminal. You don't deserve any rights. Don't do the crime if you're not prepared to do the time. Hey lads, big day out in the surf. Great topic tonight, Leroy says. Leroy's wild. Big day out in the surf.
Leroy's wild.
Leroy's wicked.
Well, about the crime do the time. I understand, that statement, right? But we were talking about it before. Like, if you've got a mass murderer like a Ted Bundy, we'll talk about it, right? And then you got a pedophile, right? And then you got a drug dealer right? Are they going to get the same sentence, like, or be in the same conditions?
Well, me and Jess were watching this America's mega prisons, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Penitentiaries. And this guy in there, and listen, I'm not saying
that drug
I'm
dealer.
not saying drug dealing is good.
No, it's not.
Because you're still dealing to kids, whatever the drugs
Well,
go to
depend-
anyone.
yeah.
But this guy was a drug dealer and he got sentenced to 75 years in prison, right?
Yeah.
And there was a pedophile that got a 12-year sentence. Please tell me, mind the
bullshit.
swearing, whatever, in what fucking world does that make sense?
That doesn't make sense.
That makes sense in no world.
No, it doesn't.
But in our world, it makes sense somehow. Because in the real world, it happens. A drug dealer gets locked up for pretty much life, and a pedophile can get out in 10 years.
No, it's not right, man. That's bullshit. That's what I mean. Like, if they've done that...
But that's what I mean. That's not the jail system. That's the legal system, isn't it?
Well, it is. It is. It's not the jail's fault.
That's not the jail's fault.
No,
yeah.
no. But
Fucking
it's...
a joke, though, isn't
That's
it?
a joke, man.
Yeah. It's bad,
That's
man.
bad, yeah. I it should be the other way around.
And I agree with what you said. What did you say to me earlier? Do you remember what you said?
I don't remember a lot of
You
things I
said you said to a certain degree, depending on what it is,
Yeah.
manslaughter should be looked at differently. Because
Of course.
if you listen, let's say you're driving a car at the speed limit and accidentally kill someone. It was a full-blown accident, and they get locked up for like manslaughter is like a 15-year sentence, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
But
I'm not saying it was good, but it was an accident.
But imagine being in Norway. You're a pedophile or you're a mass murderer.
And you're in the same
in
jail.
the same jail with them, drinking wine,
I know.
going to the library, playing video games. I mean,
Yeah, I
it's
know.
ridiculous.
I know, man.
I'm not saying like to torture them like there's other guys in those really bad jails.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that,
Yeah.
but like you can't. How are they being punished?
Yeah.
How is it a punishment?
Yeah, I know. The world is corrupt and it's pathetic, Leroy says. The jail in the movie Life is wild. Yeah, the old jail that Eddie Murphy and that in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a good jail. That's the old school jail. Chris C., you're talking about the corrupt and inept judicial system. That's the problem. People get more time for a street fight assault than for rape. Exactly what we're saying. So it's the legal
crazy.
system that is to blame to begin with.
So why is the legal system so shit? Why can't they change it?
Well, I like this.
They can
point.
change it.
Oh,
I mean, we're free thinking people, right? And we all have the same like common sense.
Yeah, I
why
agree.
can't they change it?
Oh, I agree, man. I agree. But I like this one that Rob said as well. Murder should be looked at on its own merits. Most murders are committed by someone the victim knows. There's history behind most murders. Amanda says Dr. Lads is on a roll tonight. Chris Philippou says Krillin in the house.
You should just change your name to Krillin.
Chris, just change your name to Krillin and make Chris get all your work friends in here, man. What's going on? Get the subscriptions
far out.
up.
Get everyone
What's
from the
going on,
Riverland, man. Everyone from the
In
Riverland.
Byron Bay, he said.
It's in Byron
Wait a
Bay.
second. Oh, you got to punish them horrendously. Imagine that shit happened to your kid. No joke. Yeah, rapists and pedophiles, mate, should be punished horrendously. I agree with that. That's, but with the murder thing, like, and all that, I agree with Rob. Every murder case should be looked at so differently.
Of course.
Because what if, let's say a lady is being raped by, I don't know, her dad, her uncle, her whatever, some individual for years, and she turns around and kills him, should she go to jail? No fucking way.
No.
But she probably will.
100% sure.
But she shouldn't. No way she should. No one could say that she deserves to go.
So what?
Because if they're not helping her, what, like a lot of those cases becomes like last
straw.
straw.
Yeah. It happens, man.
And of course that happens.
Yeah, I know.
Remember that? I think there was a lady in Australia. I think it was Australia. Her husband was abusing her like for years, and she ended up crushing glass and putting it in his drink, and he drank it, and then he just started like coughing up blood, and and then she got jailed.
How about before euthanasia was a thing? Like, did you think that people should be like, if someone like say you're dying, right, and you wanted me to kill you, but because those laws were there where we're not allowed to, and you do it, and then they find out you go to jail. Is that right? And you should be locked up with fucking with like criminals because you've done what someone wished for them to do.
No.
Well, that's what was happening, man. I mean, it doesn't happen anymore, but
Krillin says Peter Bello says hi.
Peter Bello's wild.
Guy says, "Oh no, Peter Bello."
Peter Bello.
Peter Bello's wild.
I love Peter Bello.
Peter Bello's
wild.
wicked. Yeah, no, I agree. You shouldn't. Things should be looked at like.
But you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if you're helping someone, like, and then you get put in jail for it.
Can you read that?
Oh my god.
Rent your house out, fly to Norway, go to jail, come back mortgage free. Oh man, you know what? That's a good one by Guy. I gotta bring up a guy for that one.
Hey,
That was wild.
It's an
Gone
alien
wild.
planet. Is there air? You don't know.
Gang.
Jimmy T says, "Hey lads, hey everyone." Rob says, "I can get done for murder and as an intruder
Jimmy.
/ burglar in my own home, for fuck's sake." That is true, which is ridiculous. You can get done for murder protecting yourself. Barbara says, "Hi, Jimmy." Just Jimmy, she says hello to. So
Not everyone else.
I can't have a cookie cutter approach, Amanda says. Some people want to be locked up, 3 meals a day, gym access, work access to education, LOL. That's what I'm saying. The problem is you go to jail, say you're homeless, you can go to jail and have free healthcare, free dental. They'll like keep you alive. You get stabbed in there and they'll go keep you alive. So a taxpayer can pay, like what Rob said, $100,000 a year to keep you in jail.
Crazy.
Like,
Absolutely
for
crazy.
instance, let's just say Jeffrey Dahmer, right, was a serial killer. I guarantee you they were trying to keep him alive when that guy killed him.
I haven't seen it, actually.
I knew the story already before the show, but I guarantee you the prison system, whatever, they were trying to keep him alive. Of course they were.
Yeah, 100%.
Why? Like, exactly.
What do you think of, like, death penalties and stuff? Like, do you think, like, there's a place for it? Or do you think
do you know
inhumane?
Nah, do you know what? It's not that I disagree with the death penalty. It's that I think if you're that vile of a person, pedophile, rapist, etc., murder, capital 1, like whatever, you should probably suffer.
Yeah, because death is too easy.
Death is a bit easy. That's the only reason I don't agree with it. But it's not. It's not that I don't think it's inhumane in that, because if you're the type of person that can go kill people and rape people, you deserve.
Well, now it's just an injection.
Yeah, exactly. So
not
you
like a
probably
cherry.
deserve that, in my opinion. But it's probably better make them suffer if they actually suffer.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
like Green Mile when they didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't wet the.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that was
Yes, Jimmy,
nuts.
jail is not a bad option for loners. There you go. That's what I said. Barbara says, and to all, each situation needs to be individually assessed. Leroy says, that's very true, Amanda. Jimmy and Barbara are sitting in a tree, Guy says. I am great.
Guy's naughty.
Krillin says, death to the pedophiles. See, yeah, but I reckon make them suffer instead of just killing them. It's easy. It's an easy way out.
It is the easy way out.
You know what I mean? So, yeah. Replace death penalty with no holds barred medical experiments of every kind. That's a good one. By Rob, he's saying instead of death penalty, it's a no holds barred for this pedophile. You can do any test you want in the world to him.
Yeah, but they can't leave.
No, you can do anything.
Yeah.
You sedate them and just do anything you want. Oh, yeah, we're just going to test if whatever.
Yeah.
I think,
How about that guy you told me about that he
well, that's what I think.
incarcerated?
He got himself
Yeah.
medically castrated, this pedophile. Me and Jess have watched it. It was on the Louis Theroux one. So, because he knew he was aroused by children and he'd been convicted, whatever, and he got out and he got himself medically castrated so he wouldn't. I think every pedophile should be castrated and not just medically.
Yeah. At least he had the,
Yeah, well, I don't know if they made him do it as a condition to get out or if it was his,
Okay.
or if it was put to him and he said, yep, do it, whatever. I can't really remember. I'd have to rewatch it, but I don't really like watching that one because it fucking upsets me seeing the pedophiles.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It would, man.
yeah. No sedation, just chop chop. Barbara's saying that's what I'm saying. Don't just every pedophile should be castrated. I don't care, and just do it.
Yeah. But then what do you do for murderers then? Well, we could do what Rob said, like, you know, Test him out like
It
that.
depends what the murder was. Like I said.
Yeah. Like Ted Bundy. Like,
Yeah,
come
that's the like. I've seen like
Oh.
a guy. I've seen a guy who's like that on with Louis. He's like, why are you in here? And he's like, for murder. And he's like, why? He's like, this man came in. He's like, he raped my daughter. And he goes, shut that motherfucker in the face. And now he's in jail. He shouldn't be in jail.
on.
No, he caught a guy raping his fucking daughter.
No. 100%.
Yeah, and you should let him fucking.
It's
kill
like, have you seen the movie Con Air?
yes,
Where he gets attacked
yep,
and he fights and he kills someone?
and he gets put in jail.
Yeah. That's
Well,
bullshit.
I'll tell you a story. Someone I know was in prison in the 80s, and this pedophile got put in prison. And
Yeah.
back then, they just used to put him in general population. They didn't protect them. Like now, they protect them. They put them,
In different, yeah.
seclude them, whatever.
Yeah.
Isolation. And the inmates planned to kill this pedophile. They found out he was a pedophile. And they
Yeah.
did it in the yard. And he reckons the cops, he goes, he was standing back watching it all happen. And he goes, and the cops stood there and watched it. And I was like, yeah, well, so they should. And he was like, yeah, but he goes, that's what they did back in the day. He goes, like, now they protect them.
No, they protect them. It's funny as how the world's changed, eh?
Like, why? Why? Let the inmates kill them, bro.
Maybe the higher ups are what are that. Maybe they are that.
Exactly. You've said it
And-
before. You've said that before, haven't you?
Well, why are they protecting him now for? That's
Yeah.
Doesn't
Jails
make
here
sense.
are too soft, Jimmy says. If they did castrate, I think it would make way more think twice about doing any of that stuff, Leroy says. Exactly. Like, if you were a pedophile and you had it in your mind, oh, wait a second, if I do this, my dick's getting cut off,
yeah.
you might think twice about that, regardless if you're aroused by it or not. Regardless if you're a sicko and that stuff arouses you, you might think twice about raping someone, touching a child, if in the back of your mind you're thinking, if I get caught, my dick's getting chopped off.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's what Leroy's saying.
Yeah. I just don't understand pedophilia.
I know. I sang
Do
to.
not
I said to
understand.
Hess, I was like, Chris said it to me today, and I was like, exactly. That's what I always say. I'm like, I just don't.
I don't understand.
I just don't get it. Like I know it's yeah. How about let the victim of the family decide the punishment with no restrictions? You know why I don't like that, Rob? Because I've seen some families in courtrooms that are like, I forgive you, and like don't want them to have bad punishment. They're like, I don't want to be at their level, and it's like, and it mind boggles me because if someone did that to my family, like the punishment I'd pick is next level. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
So
No, it's
yeah, I don't know.
ridiculous.
Pedos don't last in prison, thankfully. But the thing is, I think they protect them now so they
do,
last.
man. Do.
They isolate them now so they don't get killed. Like I said about that story, they didn't used to, but they do now. Why? Nurse who killed 8 premature babies is on 24-hour protection in jail. Why? For fuck's sake. Exactly. She killed 8 premature babies and they're
Why?
protecting her. Put her in general population, mate. Like, seriously?
Oh, it should get. Yeah, they know that should get done straight away, man. Because people don't. I mean, a lot of the criminals are still. Like, some of them are decent people,
Yeah.
and some of them have just done the wrong thing once.
See,
and like,
Rob is
if they
saying-
hear shit like that, they're gonna fucking.
Yeah.
Go
See,
for it.
Rob said, because he's the one that said that point about let the family, he goes, yeah, good point, KP. Forgiving sets a bad precedent. And it does, because there's these, like, did you hear the story about Cain? Do you know who Cain Velasquez is?
Yeah.
The ex-UFC heavyweight
Yeah,
champion.
I know. Yeah,
So
I know
the
the story.
ex-UFC heavyweight champion had his daughter at daycare. So this guy could kill you with his bare hands.
Oh, he's a monster.
Factual, right? His daughter was at this daycare where this guy touched. He's getting done for like 480 cases or something of touching kids. And Cain Velasquez found out and chased him down and had him on the highway ready to kill him. And the cops had a gun at Cain Velasquez and stopped him.
Nah, it's bullshit.
And now he's going to prison or he's on trial for attempted murder.
This is where the justice system is shit.
But what-
It's where it breaks down, man.
But what I don't get is, okay,
Wouldn't you do the same thing?
no, of course. But what I don't get is, I get that's the law, right? But just let him kill him and then go, oh, you're under arrest. Oh, what's your report, officer? Oh, I got there too late. I got there, he was already dead.
Oh, yeah.
Why couldn't they do that? Why couldn't the cop let him kill him? Because this guy touched allegedly 460 cases. So God knows how many more he's done.
Oh, of course.
And why couldn't the cop just say, I got there too late? Yeah, he killed him. Yeah, I arrested him. I arrested him for killing him. But I got there late, man. Sorry.
Yeah.
Or why couldn't the cop go and put a bullet in him and go, yeah, sorry, we're late. Yeah, he killed him, man. Fuck me, man.
I agree.
Seriously.
But that story is ridiculous. Like, how can he be charged with murder after what that guy done, man? Like, I would have done the exact same thing. You know what I mean? Wouldn't you have done the exact same thing?
100%. I would have said to the cops, well, you're going to have to shoot me now.
Unbelievable.
Oh, you know what I would have said to the cops when they were saying freeze, holding guns at me? I would have said, well, you're going to have to be a killer now, because unless you shoot me, I'm killing him.
So Cain Velasquez, right? He goes to jail. Does he deserve to be in the jail?
No fucking way.
Does he deserve
Nah.
to be in the jail with murderers?
Nah. And
He
he's
doesn't.
on trial now.
It's bullshit.
And
And
on
that's
trial.
what happens.
Yeah, exactly. And he's on trial right now for it. But I legit would have said to the cops, they're holding a gun at me. I'm Cain Velasquez. I would have said, well, you've got to make put a killer in this world, because you're going to put a bullet in me or I'm killing him. And I would have just went to kill him and made them shoot me. And then if they can live with that, so be it. If they could live with that,
We live in a
if
crazy.
they could live with that, they're sickos as well, so be it. Because,
Yeah,
you know, if I was the cop, I'd have said, yeah, go kill him, man.
Yeah, you would have.
Fuck it, I'll go do what you got to do, bro. If I
I'll
get
just
sacked.
turn around.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't there.
I'll just turn
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah,
around.
I know, man.
Yeah, 100%, man.
So you hear how crooked cops are in bad ways. So, yeah, definitely KP. Exactly, Leroy. Yeah. Pedophile priests in Poland are just put in another part of the country, free to do the same over and over again, Barbara says. That doesn't surprise me.
It's bad.
If you pay attention, we live in worse than the movies, guy. Leroy's saying, yeah, that's true.
You talked about the priest the other day, where you were saying how the Catholic priests don't get married,
The Catholic
and then they
priests...
get attached to the.
Yeah, so
the boys.
Poland is Catholic.
They are Catholic.
Yeah, so Catholic priests aren't allowed to get married. That's why they say that's why you always hear these stories of Catholic priests touching kids, because they have to be celibate, whatever the word,
Yeah, yeah.
and then they're around these kids all day, and they go, is that religion system trying to breed pedophiles?
Yes.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean? Because a pedophile here, George Pell, gets caught of pedophilia, and what happens? Gets sent. The Pope takes him to the Vatican so he doesn't go to jail, and then he died there. And they put it on the news. They're like, oh, George Pell died. Like we're meant to give a fuck.
It's crazy, man.
Oh, George Pell died. Oh, really? Who gives a shit? You took him to the Vatican to protect him.
Yeah.
And so what does that say for the Pope? And then people go
Yeah.
oh, the Pope. Fuck him
We're
too.
not saying the religion's is a pedophile. I think the people that run that
Fucking oaths they
people
are.
that run that religion
Fucking oaths.
I reckon a lot of them are pedophiles.
Because I've always said this. I've always said the first people that were ever religious,
yeah.
they probably weren't bad. They probably did it for a good reason.
Of course.
It's whatever these
the
people
scriptures-
now
yeah.
have turned it into.
The scriptures and all that are fine.
100%.
It's how they run it.
100%.
And you can, and plus, if you've seen the Pope, how rich he is.
Yeah, exactly.
How rich is the Pope wearing gold? And outside his door, there's homeless people. So, just goes to show what kind of people these are.
Blackfriars School here in Adelaide,
Yeah.
Rob is saying, have discovered history of sexual abuse. But exactly, Catholic schools, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
And
the Don, we know it, had a case. He was a claims manager. This teacher, my dad, he worked for the education department, and this teacher ended up he got sent to jail, he was a pedophile and that. And he tried to put a claim in while he was going through court for stress to get money. And the Don was in charge of his case. And he goes to him. He goes, well, he goes, whatever your name is. He goes, I'm not putting your claim through. And you know what the pedophile said to the Don?
What?
He goes, are you just jealous that I'm going to be rich? That's what he said. And this guy knew he was a pedophile because he got done. He got sent to jail. He died in prison. And the Don looked at him and goes, if it were up to me, he goes, you'd be a dead man. He goes, you're not fucking getting nothing from me. He goes, get the fuck out of my office.
Oh, good on him.
Yeah, kicked him out. And
Good on the Don.
And the Don did it knowing that he could have got in trouble.
Yeah.
Doing
But
it.
but he did. He's got
fuck
values,
it.
man.
Yeah, fuck it. And he kicked him
100%.
out. And yeah, then he got convicted as a pedophile and he died in prison. And I'm not going to say the name. We know who it was. We know the name and the school and that. But yeah, it was.
Yeah, I remember.
And like Rob is saying, Blackfriars, you know what I mean? Like, glad I'm not sending my kids there. I'm not in the zone. Yeah, but you know what, man? It's a lot of those Catholic schools, man, I'll be touchy about.
Well, mate, there's a tunnel that leads into our school.
Exactly.
Why is there a tunnel in the boys' toilets
Of a school.
of a school?
Why is there a tunnel in the boys' toilet? And the thing is, it's clear as day. There's a cabinet there you can open. It goes down to a tunnel.
I don't know if it's still there. Well, the tunnel.
Well, how could they get rid of it? You couldn't.
Yeah.
You can't get rid of that because of where it was behind the cubicles.
Yeah,
Like, what's the point of that?
I remember it, man.
What? Yeah, of course.
You
Everyone
know
remembers
what? People, I used to say that to people, and people were like, "No, man, you're dreaming." I'm like,
no
"Was
dreaming.
I?" And then I asked you, and I'm like, "Was it?" And he's like, "Yes." I was like,
Me and
well,
one of
I
the-
remember.
Me and another one of the group of friends got dared, and we went in, and it was pitch black.
Yeah, I know.
And we walked out. We didn't. If we had phones,
I remember.
now they would have to padlock it because kids have phones.
I remember the door being opened.
Yeah.
And I went like, I just
It's
went,
pitch
and
black.
you couldn't see nothing.
But now, imagine we had mobiles.
Oh, forget about it. But why is it there?
Because you know what they'll say to you? Oh, it's a storage room.
It's not a storage
why is it
room,
so
bro.
black?
Why
Why
is
is
it
there
in
no
the
power?
boys? But why is it connected to the boys' toilets of all places?
Of
Is
course.
my question.
Why does media protect pedo names? They don't protect murderer names, but pedos? Why? Good point, Leroy. The thing is, they do have a website. You can search sex offenders, but you have to go search it. Why don't they just out them? Why don't they just go on the news, like they're saying, and go, oh, yeah, there's a pedophile in this area. Yeah, his name is, etc., etc. He lives in Wisconsin, whatever, you know.
Because they probably got privacy laws or something that he could sue them for privacy laws.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, which is stupid.
It is stupid. It should if you've been convicted as a pedophile, then your rights should be taken away.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
because the higher up are the pedos, Amanda says.
well, asking me this question: you type in Google, right? How many kids go missing in Australia? I think I've said this on the podcast.
Probably
before.
ridiculous.
It's over 20,000 kids go missing in Australia.
There you go.
In 1 year.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Where do they go, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, a lot of them, some of them, all right, go missing and come back, but that's a lot of kids, man. 20,000 go missing a year. If you want, go check it on Google. Type it in Google, you will see it. 100%.
And you know what I don't get? Leroy says too much protection for the worst, and she's agreeing with Amanda. Yeah, exactly, Amanda, because the higher ups are pedos. But what I don't get is, what like the one that apparently died, whatever, Epstein, right? What joy do these millionaires/billionaires get out of going to this island to touch kids? Like, you're a sicko, man.
I think look, I've read up on it a little bit, and there's like satanic rituals they do, and
But that's what I mean. They're sickos.
they're sickos.
Like
100%.
And you know what? That's why, you know, like when they're also scared of crypto and that, they don't want the common man to be a millionaire, because when they turn around and go, hey, KP, do you want to come to this island where we do satanic rituals and, you know, pedophile stuff, and we go, you're a fucking sicko, get fucked. They don't want that.
No,
They want all their kind
of course.
that
Well,
aren't like us.
Well, you know, if you didn't have protection, you'd probably be dead.
You'd be dead. That's right.
So,
Yeah. But that stat includes people are missing just for 24 hours and were found, Guy says.
yeah, I know, but it doesn't matter. 20,000 people, man. That's a lot of kids, though.
Shameless plug for justice against a pedo. Read my book, Beyond the Seventh Tree. There you go. It's actually 38,000 a year now. And trafficked Australians, the number is higher. Yeah. See,
I wouldn't like that. I know what you're saying, but you still got to be like jaw dropped with that number.
yeah, of course,
Okay?
38,000.
38,000 kids don't go missing, come back in 24 hours. So it's scary, man. Thinking of those numbers is scary. And you go to other countries like Canada, America. It's
Because they're bigger population.
It's huge numbers, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It is.
Crazy. I was crazy once.
I was locked in the room.
They locked me in a room.
A rubber room.
No, but I'll say it with
Rubber room?
I'll wait, say it with his accent.
Ah.
A rubber room. A rubber room with rats. Rats make me crazy. Where is he? Temp. If Temp come on, he would have loved that.
He would have.
What did Dr. Lowe say? Let me read that. Sorry, I'll read it here because closer.
Dr. Laz.
Whoa. Chris C. Satanic rituals, nothing to do with pedophilia. I've done my research. Christian religion is the only religion doing this, not Buddhists, Muslims.
No, but
I was saying that's what they were doing there, though, like Epstein on the island. And...
no. But they say they're Christians, but they do. There is if you do some research, type in Rachel Vaughn in YouTube, and she talks about the satanic rituals her father and that did when they were drinking blood of kids and all that.
Isn't that like the watch along we did? They were doing that. Hereditary.
Yeah.
It was like full.
That's like it there. That's what
it was
like.
full satanic ritual.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Crazy. Or
I mean,
Dimox, Rundle Mall. There you go, guys.
They do say they're Christian, though.
Yeah, they do. If you want that book, you can get it from Dimox or Dimox, however you want to say it.
Because saying you're satanic does not sound good.
No, it doesn't.
Doesn't sound good to anyone. So they're not going to come out and go, "Oh, we're satanic."
Yeah.
We follow Satan.
Whereas, like, you look at born again Christians, the shit they do is like, it's like satanic. It's like rituals. They put you in a tub in front of 300 people naked and say, "Oh, speak in tongues, my son."
The tongues is a bit weird.
It's so dumb because you're meant to, but it's bullshit. I told you the story about my uncle. I told it live on the podcast. What he did.
What did he do? I can't remember.
Well, his brothers, they all became born again Christians, and they were like bullshitting. Oh, we speak in tongues and all this shit, and like it really upset my yayab, like because she was obviously Greek Orthodox and all that, and my uncle Nick, like the rebel uncle, he went and he was like, "Oh, I'll come to a born again thing," and they were like, "Oh, we'll baptize you. You'll speak in tongues," and the priest put him in this tub in front of like 200 people at this. I don't know where it was.
Yeah.
And listen.
Oh, like a baptism.
Yeah. Listen, Nick was in jail, my uncle, and he had a tattoo of the devil on his chest.
Oh no.
And he's like butt naked. And they opened the curtains, and the priest goes, "Oh, speak in tongues, my son." And Nick turned around, 300 people there, and he looked at him and he goes, "You got any soap, mate?" And the guy closed the blind. He goes, "You can't be cured," and they kicked him out because it's bullshit.
Yeah, but how do you speak?
Because it's an act. They tell you, "Oh, it's meant to be the demons coming out of you. Speak in tongues," and they go, but it's all an act. They pay these people to do it to make people believe it. You know, like you see it in America, they have these big seminars and they like tap them on the head and they go,
yeah, is that true?
It's all acting.
How about when like they look like they're possessed?
Yeah, and that's what
they start like vomiting and stuff. Is that acting?
No, and that's what they said to Nick he was going to do.
Is that acting though?
Well, Nick went in and he goes, he said, "Have you got any soap, mate?" And the guy closed it. He goes, No, get the fuck out of here.
No, but I'm saying like when they're possessed and they're like, and then like the guy I've seen it, and they touch him and then like they start convulsing and then like they're cured. Is that bullshit?
Bullshit. They get. So these people are the ones that do it, they're either acting or they're so lost that they just believe it. They want to believe that they're doing it so they can be part of something. Rob goes, "Yeah, KP, it's all an act. It's bullshit."
It does. I've always thought it was bullshit.
Watch Sound of Freedom, new movie on child trafficking based on a true story, Krillin says. The trafficking, see, Jess showed me this the other day. It used to be the third most popular trafficking. It used to be,
I think it's number one.
Yeah, it used to be human, weapons, and drugs. Drugs is still number one, but human trafficking is second, and it's taken over weapons, bro. Whereas they use weapons to fucking fight wars. Yeah, and human trafficking has taken over weapons.
It has.
The only thing that's in front of it is drugs, which would probably be hard to overtake. But the fact that it's number 2,
Probably number 1, bro.
it probably is. But as they say, because of drugs, you know, they can. The thing is about drugs, they can go put billions and billions of it in a fucking container. You can only put a certain amount of people in it. That's why. If they could, human trafficking would be more. If they could do more people, if they could get more people off the street and traffic them, it'd be number 1. 100%. It
Depends like what countries as well.
Yeah.
But it happens everywhere. That's the sad thing.
I exposed a priest in Poland and was taken to court for ruining his name, even though many of his victims came forward. Barbara says, I lived surrounded by pedos growing up, and most girls I know have a story to tell. Insane how common it is, Hess says. Precisely, Barbara. Good on you. There is so much I can say right now, Krillin says. Oh my God, Amanda, you champ, Barbara. Me too, Krillin. See, well...
So Barbara was like, she's... Like
I know you've told me the story.
A current affairs,
Yeah.
and she's been like her. She's like she it was a massive ordeal over in Poland.
Yep.
And she's very well known over there.
Well,
everyone knows her name, man.
We told you a story. Yeah, keep going. Go.
And she's still going through it at the moment. I'm not sure if they won anything. I think they did win something, but. Like, she's still, like, there's death threats because people are so involved in the church over there that, they take it so far. And because she's gone against one of the biggest priests and said what he did, she's like a big target over there to these crazy people that are like churchgoers.
Well, me and the Don told you a story of here. It wasn't actually a priest. It was in the Greek Orthodox Church.
Yeah.
It wasn't a priest that did it, but this priest was the most well-respected priest here.
Right.
We know who he was when we talked about him. I've told you the name.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't say the names and that, but his daughter was touched, raped, abused by his brother, who wasn't a priest or anything, but they didn't let the story get out. So it didn't ruin his reputation. And the whole Greek community knew about it in the end. And
that's terrible.
Yeah, and they kept it quiet to protect his reputation. And it wasn't like Barbara's. It was a priest didn't.
It wasn't a priest,
but it was his brother. His brother touched his daughter. His brother. It was his niece.
That's
he
crazy.
touched her, did whatever, and he was doing it for years. And then they didn't let it out. And then he didn't do anything because he didn't want to ruin the reputation of the priest.
That's fucked.
It's fucked up, bro.
That's fucked up.
Oh my God, Jess surrounded. That's awful. Yep, each side of my house and behind. Don't at me. Says, g'day everyone. We'll get this up. There you go. I used to give 2 of them hell growing up, Hess says, and just cracking up. I don't even trust daycare for my son just because he can't talk yet and can't tell me if they are dodgy. I agree with Guy, man, with that. Yeah, I know it's funny like saying it, but it's like...
Well, sometimes when you don't have anyone to look after your kids, you got no choice.
I know. That's
the only problem.
It's where you get
But,
put in.
you got to suss it out first, man.
Yeah, of course.
When you go in there.
Destroy cars, their backyards, threw lemons at them. Jess is cracking up, reminiscing about annoying them. Barbara says, big deal because I put my name to the priest who molested me. I don't feel like a champ, but thank you. Mate, for you to stand up to it, Barbara, like...
Takes a lot of courage.
That is courage. You're like, that's a real life hero. Trust me. And you should take that on board. That's very strong of you. And you're like a real life hero. Don't ever discount yourself by saying you don't feel like a champ. Obviously what you went through, none of us know. It's ridiculous. Yeah, but the fact that you stood up to him, even though he was a higher power... And you know what? Fuck him. I'd go there and stand with you against it. That's a disgrace.
People were like, when they heard the story, there were statues of him, and they were like, bringing it down.
I would have went like and cut the head off the statue like in The Simpsons. Fucking that's good.
How many statues are standing now that shouldn't be standing?
Oh, mate.
A lot.
Please, of course. You know, a prison system could work by displaying the worst of the worst in the town square with an appropriate label that should ruin their lives. There you go. Damn, Chris already mentioned that before.
What? Dan Houston.
He already said.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Oh, no, you said Butters. Sorry. Yeah.
Dan Houston got Australia. Yeah. Well done.
You're a true survivor, Barbara. hats off to you by all of us. 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Now,
Listen, guys, if you're new, please like, share, comment, subscribe.
they're put in jail. There you
Oh,
go.
that's a fucking joke. Those guys that pulled the statue down were put in jail.
Well, we're talking about jail, so bullshit, eh?
Fuck
See?
me.
See
I've
the
seen-
justice system, man?
On that video, on that Netflix documentary, the Poland jail, there's one in, I think, Warsaw is pretty bad in Poland.
Is that?
Yeah, it's pretty rough. Rough.
Yeah.
I think it's in Warsaw. I'm pretty sure.
So if you're going to get done to go to jail if you're overseas,
You want to go to Norway.
Norway.
Yeah, 100%.
Just go to Norway and just go
Like,
nuts.
like Guy said, go Norway, serve 10 years, put your house on Airbnb, come back, no mortgage. You're laughing.
Are you going to show the video?
All right, we'll bring
Show
up
the video of the Norway place.
The first one we'll
There's
bring
two,
up. So we've got
there's
a few videos. We'll bring up. This one is about the Lux prisons. We'll bring it up first, and I'll mute us so you can just watch
The
it.
3 most luxurious prisons in the world. The last one is crazy. Number 3, Halden Prison, Norway. This jail is known for its humanitarian approach to incarceration. Each inmate gets a private cell with mini fridges, flat-screen TVs, and even windows to let in more light. It also has rock-climbing walls, a recording studio, sports centers, and a well-stocked library. Number 2, Justice Center, Loben, Austria. This Justice Center is not just a prison, it's practically a luxury complex. Every cell is a single room equipped with a private bathroom, kitchenette, and television. Plus, inmates get access to a fitness center, outdoor courtyard, and can even enjoy sports of their choice. However, in number 1, Bastøy Prison, Norway. You won't believe this. It's located on a scenic island accessible only by ferry and houses inmates in wooden cottages. They engage in activities like tennis, horse riding, fishing, and even skiing during the winter. All this, along with an emphasis on rehabilitation over punishment, makes it feel more like a holiday resort than a prison.
All right, guys. Well, you saw that. So that's the 3 most luxe prisons they've put it as. And there's another one we're going to bring up, as I think they mentioned it first, where's the one I said to Chris that I've watched the documentary on it, the Norway prison. It's got a bit of a story with it, this video. We'll bring it up so you can watch it.
It goes for a bit. It goes for about.
It goes for a
2
bit
minutes.
longer, guys.
So yeah.
We'll bring it up, show it to you. All right, guys. So we brought up those 2 videos.
That's crazy. Is that crazy?
It is crazy. I'll read a few of the chats before we talk about him. Krillin says, ciao, guys. We'll see you later, Krillin. I'm with Guy. Rent your house. Stay on holiday. I mean, in prison in Norway. Guy says, let's all do a joint holiday to prison in Norway. more of a social life than me, these guys, Guy reckons. Yeah, agreed. Stay hunky, Krillin. Here I am, good citizen, busting my tits off to make a living, and these guys are hanging out, living their best lives. Fucking disgusted, Amanda says. Guy says, wow. Dr. Laz says, for fuck's sake. No words, just the world is fucked up.
100%.
Hess says.
It's bullshit, man. How is a murderer allowed
Yeah.
to just be in that kind of
Oh, it's
that kind
ridiculous.
of environment? Like, it's ridiculous.
I know, man. So we have another one where we can show the other spectrum. Should I show that worst prisons one?
If you want, yeah.
So we can show this other one, guys. It's like
it's the other way.
side. It's like
Yeah.
they've got jails in Africa and prisons in Africa that are meant to hold 300 people, and they've got 3,000 people in there. You know what I mean? Like, just that's an example. Like, I'll
You can put it on.
show it, and yeah, you can see what you think of that.
The most fucked up prisons on the planet. The Gitarama prison in Rwanda is a prison that is built for 400 people but has over 7,000 inmates. Because it is so crowded, the prisoners are standing on their feet almost all the time. Oh, and there's also no sewing system there, so they're constantly walking through their own piss and shit. And since their feet are on disease-ridden floors all the time, they often will have to get their feet amputated. And there's also only one doctor for all 7,000 people. And since no one can get the medical help that they need, over half a dozen prisoners die every single day. And the prisoners will even go so far as to feast on the dead bodies because of the extreme lack of food that they are provided. The Black Dolphin prison in Russia is infamous for hosting the most notorious criminals in the entire country. The average inmate has killed at least 5 people, and the security is so intense sense that the only way you can possibly escape the prison is through death. The prisoners are monitored on video surveillance 24 hours a day, and the guards make their round every 15 minutes, which is 96 times a day. And when the prisoners leave their cell for anything, including their outside time, they are handcuffed, blindfolded, and forced to walk bent over so that they cannot memorize the prison's layout or interact with any of the other prisoners. And this technique is often called the Black Dolphin.
Shit, because the justice system would not be kind to you.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
See, guys, me and Chris were talking in the background then, and we're just talking about, we're saying Hess's alter ego. We mentioned it a couple of weeks ago on the what superhero would you be. This is why, like Guy mentioned that law-abiding citizen, this is why the Punisher needs to exist.
Or Batman.
Or Batman. But Batman doesn't kill. The Punisher at least just kills him.
Yeah, but isn't there like comics that he does kill?
Yeah, well, he's not meant to. But like,
Yeah,
Punisher will kill everyone. He just kills everyone. Law-abiding citizen, like, you know, John, he said, I'll go law-abiding citizen on their ass. It's like, have you ever rooted for someone more in a movie than law-abiding citizen? No way.
No.
You're like going for him, and he's just killing people. So true, man. Not enough amputations and deaths per day, in my opinion, Dr. Laz
So
said.
you got to be a vigilante.
Yeah. You got to be a trained
to-
killer to be able to go to do something about it. Agree 100%. Laugh out loud, Dr. Laz. I've seen one story where a kid was raised around violence. The kid has no choice to live normal. Do you think the Norway prison is a good idea to try help them? That's what Alia says.
Maybe. But I don't think. Look, as we said, it has to be classes of prisoners. Like if you've got a rapist, a pedophile, and a murderer, they should not be put in that.
Well, that's
now,
what... Yeah.
someone else could use those facilities to be rehabilitated. You know, but those, especially those three categories.
Yeah,
no.
yeah. Well, that's what Amanda says. She goes, that's different, Alia. I think for someone like that, yeah. Put them in there. That's fine. Help them. Try rehabilitate them.
Yeah.
But don't go put a pedophile in there and give him, you know, a flat screen TV.
No
and shit.
way. And what, Xbox?
Yeah, bullshit. I don't know why there's not more killers who kill bad guys. Genuinely don't know why. There you go.
But we did watch the other side.
Yeah.
Do you think it's too harsh, some of these conditions they're in as well? Like, have you seen, like, there's what did he say? There was 7,000?
7,000 people in a
it's
meant to be 400.
Yeah.
Well,
And there's shit everywhere.
But how bad are these criminals that are there is the question.
Well, that's the thing.
If they're murderers and rapists, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Put them in there.
But
they deserve
if they're
it.
just like,
but if they're just like
someone
petty
stole something,
theft and shit, which
like,
you don't know what the crimes are in those countries. It's a bit like Rwanda. Who the fuck knows what the crimes are there? You know what I mean? Like there could be murders happening every day there with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's hard. It's
What do you think of theft anyway?
Put that jail on bookings.com. People will go.
What do you think of theft?
Like
if you're stealing money from a bank and it's other people's money, like
you should get done. You should get not like a not
like
scam.
They don't kill people.
I think scammers because they take money from like vulnerable people. They should get done hard too.
Yeah. But about like, just people that rob, because I hate the banks. So, but
I don't like the banks. Yeah.
It's a hard one, isn't it?
It is a hard one.
It's how you look at it, I guess, in that respect.
Yeah, true.
But
listen, like
because I watched that bank robbery movie with Amanda.
Yeah.
The Heist.
Yeah.
And I was for the robbers, man.
Yeah,
I wanted them to win.
That's because Eddie Murphy's there. You like it?
No. It wasn't with Eddie. It was the one. It was the Spanish one.
Yeah.
And I want them to win. So does that make me a bad person?
Probably not. Yes, pedos, no way. Electric chair, Alia says. Yeah, I agree. Alia, all pedos and rapists, medical experiments of any kind, Dr. Laz. GT23 says, yes, damn, why? I don't know what that was to, but it's all good. Sorry if I missed it. Chrissy, scammers are worse. Banks have made 50 billion in Australia every year for the last 20 years. They're the robbers. Yeah, they're the robbers.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Scammers should get done because they're like scamming vulnerable people.
Yeah.
But people that rob from a bank, I don't know. The law system is way overdue for an overhaul, 100%. I thought Nigerians were nice guys. Well, KG's a nice guy,
true.
isn't he, John? Yeah, well, I don't know. Like,
No, not all of them. Like,
it's just that because it's a third world country. It's like Brazil. It's so dangerous. Like, there could be murders like Mexico happening on the street. Like,
yeah,
every
100%.
fucking every minute,
Africa's
bro.
pretty dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Especially like South Africa.
exactly, man.
It's pretty dangerous, man.
Westpac just sent me a check for $70 for overcharging my account fees in 2002.
2000
but then Dr. Les says they got caught. That's the only reason they gave me money
Yeah,
back.
well, there you go.
Yeah. Not because they wanted to.
No.
Not because they were like, oh, we were in the wrong, sir. They were
How
like,
many other times
Yeah,
have they been in the wrong,
exactly.
and how much money have they stolen from you?
Yeah.
You know, you're talking about vigilantes, right? I was watching this show called Mr. In Between.
Yeah.
I watched it with Amanda, and he's a criminal,
Yeah.
but you love him because he goes out and he attacks. He's like the Punisher.
Yeah, it's the best.
He takes out bad people.
Yeah, that's what's
Right?
wrong with that. That's wild.
That's what he does.
Yeah, that's the best.
But you love him though.
of course, because he's taking out bad people.
You would love Mr. In Between.
There's
It's such a good show, man.
There's this one scene in the in season 2 of The Punisher where he goes and meets a pedophile, and he says to him, he's like holding a gun to him, and he's like, "Give me what I want," and he's like, "I'll let you live."
Yeah.
And the guy gives him all this evidence,
And he kills him anyway.
and it just cuts to the scene of the place blowing up and the guy running out and he's on fire. And it's like, and the Punisher's just walking off. It's like, yeah, fuck you.
Well, this one's an Aussie one.
Yeah.
This is Aussie,
Yeah,
so
cool.
it's very relatable. You'll
What a
love it.
show that is, Alia says. Is agreeing with you.
How good is it, man? Great show. Ali, I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
The
It's on binge if you guys want to know.
The reason crime shows are so popular is because they deliver justice the real world does not.
Correct.
That's a good one.
That's a great one. 100%.
But they've always got that cop, that's like, he's not like a corrupt cop. They're always like trying to be the best cop. And they're like, no, I want to put you away because
Yeah.
I serve the justice system.
Well, the police force is they're corrupt as
Of course
much.
they are.
Yeah.
Have you remember John said he hasn't seen Equalizer?
You have to watch it.
Yeah,
eh?
do you remember that scene in the Equalizer when he catches those two dudes getting payment from the old lady?
Yeah. I
And he
remember.
goes up to him and he's like, whatever happened to protect and serve, you bums? And they're
Yeah.
like, you better get out of here before, and they like break his phone, and then he just beats the fuck out of him. And they go back there, the next scene, they're like all broken, and they're like giving the money back.
Equalizer is so...
I know, man. Well, he's like a vigilante, isn't he?
He is.
He is.
He is.
You like Equalizer is like law-abiding citizen. He's like the Punisher, John. You have to watch it. He's the best.
Do you think we have any vigilantes out there?
There has to be.
Has to be.
There has to be.
I'd love to meet one.
There has to be one out there that's just like,
I think Dr. Laz is one.
you reckon Dr. Laz vigilante? I'm just so sick of it all. I have to ignore it at this point. Yeah, that's what I think a lot of people feel like.
I know, it's...
Agreed, Jess. See, Dr. Laz agreeing. It's like, there has to be a vigilante out there.
I hope there is.
There has to be. Like,
I hope there is, man, because, like, if there's not, there's no hope for humanity.
I agree. You know what I don't get is, why isn't there, like, look at the story of Batman, right? Listen, I know it's a comic, but he's a billionaire, and he's like, well, fuck going to meetings and shit. I'm going to put my effort into
Becoming a ninja.
being a vigilante and becoming a ninja because I've got all this money in the world. I can do whatever I want. And he goes, why isn't some other billionaire doing it? Why isn't someone just going, you know what? It's a good idea. I'm going to put all my money into being a vigilante.
Yeah, but Batman had, like, he because what happened to him,
Yeah, no, but
he thought he had to give back to the community.
remember
so-
Kick-Ass? They
and he
made
thought-
Kick-Ass. It was like a real version of it.
Yeah.
And the kid just went and became a vigilante.
The problem is when billionaires think because they got so much money,
Yeah.
they don't care about the people, man.
Yeah.
They don't care about it.
No,
What
they
Rob
don't.
said, it's the
They don't.
opposite.
Yeah, of course.
It's
Yeah, I
the
agree.
opposite. They don't give a shit about us.
No, they don't.
And
They
they
don't.
rather us die in a ditch
Yeah, of
somewhere
course.
than save us.
Hess is saying, she's elaborating, saying, I have to ignore it or I'll be depressed, which is fair.
Everything now, even the news, I can't even watch the news. It's depressing.
There you go. I'm the guy who has changed for some fat ass liar who produced a $50 note for his bus fare. No worries, mate. I got change. Pay like the rest of us, you bastard. True story. Yeah, listen. Yeah, they don't care about us. Nah, you're spot on.
It's like that song Michael Jackson says, all I want to say is that they don't really care about us.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't, man.
They don't care about
That
us.
is the most truthful song that you ever hear. Go listen to the lyrics, and he tells you in that song what's happening.
Yeah,
He goes, if Martin Luther was living, he wouldn't let this be. If Roosevelt was living, he wouldn't let this be. That's how that song gets me every time, man. It's true, man. I'm telling you, they don't give a shit.
And then they say he's a pedophile
because he was against them.
You know,
If they say that, if that's in the news, I'm telling you now, it's all the opposite, bro. I'm telling you now.
I've always pushed myself to believe that he wasn't a pedophile.
No, I don't think he was. I don't care what anyone says.
You're allowed to have your own beliefs. That's right. So,
Exactly.
Ivan says, "Hola, hey, Ivan, how are you?"
Hola, skitty esquala.
That's right. You're allowed to have your own beliefs and you
that's
believe
right.
what you want to believe. That's right. Yeah. So he does say it in that song. That's true.
He does, man. Always people forget about that song.
It's a killer song. How can you forget about it? How can you forget?
Nah, but listen to the lyrics, man.
It's a great song, 100%. Jess is saying. How can you forget about a Michael Jackson song? He's the best.
If we weren't going to get copyrighted, I'll put it on right now.
Just sing it. Just imitate him. Be like, come on, Lee. Come on. Come on, Lee.
Come on, Lee.
Come on, Lee.
Rush Hour's great.
It's the best.
It is good.
Come on, Lee.
And
then Lee's like, Chimon?
Chimon.
Chimon. Sing a song, guys. Chimon, he says. Do the moonwalk. I can do the moonwalk, man.
Can you?
Not as good as Michael Jackson, but I watched this clip on like YouTube once and I sat there. He tells you how to do it.
My sister can do it.
Yeah, like listen, no one can do it like Jacko, but it's, yeah.
Well, do the moonwalk here.
I can't do it here. I got these killer Under Armours on. Never be able to do it.
He's got too much grip.
Tupac had some great lyrics about the state of things as well. Yeah.
Well, a lot of people, there's a conspiracy going around that he was actually killed
Probably was.
by, I don't know if it was government or whatever, but it was not what we thought it was, but I don't know if that's true.
Well, look about all these people that were, when you look at them, those examples of these big personalities, influencers that were against the so-called elite. Princess Diana leaves the family, divorces Prince Charles and leaves. She gets killed while she's with Muhammad Al-Fayed's son, Dodi Al-Fayed.
Yep.
Tupac, he goes out as an activist in his own way, says all these things, like Jess says, lyrics, right?
Gets killed. Same with Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson had these lyrics. They said he was a pedophile. He's killed. You know what I mean? Like there's
a lot of people like that, man.
You know, it's crazy, man.
How about JFK Jr.?
Yep.
They killed him
he
died in a plane crash.
Yep.
He would have been, I reckon, the next president, and he would have
probably
done what his dad would have liked to finish what his dad started.
Do you know what this calls for? Just for old time's sake, because we're talking about it.
What?
I'll show you.
I love it. Look, in the first like 6 months of the HFD podcast, the Rogan Files was a must-watch show.
Listen, if any of you guys are new and you don't know what the Rogan Files are, Alia says I love conspiracies. The big man here, he got called the Aussie Seth Rogen by, I don't even remember who it was.
It's because it's the hair.
But who said it? Someone said to him, you look like the Aussie Seth Rogen once on a show.
Yeah.
So we started a segment called the Rogan Files, which you just saw the clip for. And we talked about a different conspiracy every show. And we're pretty much doing it now, so I thought I'd just bring it back. And Alia says, oh, there you go. Jess said it was her. She said you were the Aussie Seth Rogen.
There you go.
Name. There you go. I'd forgotten.
You're a nice guy.
Yeah, it was so long ago.
How could you forget these things?
That's so long ago, man. It was, remembering them all.
I've been called Seth Rogen before by someone else ages ago, but I was like,
Jess patented you're the Aussie Seth Rogen, man.
Dr. Dre.
What did he's not dead.
He's not dead.
Sometimes, I love Dre, but there's part of me that, like, turns around and thinks, is he, like, with the elite if he's, like, still alive and shit?
I know that Ice Cube's not.
Cube's not.
He talks out about him.
He's full. And then, listen, he left Dre. He left NWA. They split up.
I think they're still friends.
They're friends and that, but you can tell they haven't been like they were.
Well, he talks about how he's not part of the clique.
No, he doesn't because he doesn't want to be.
No, he's not part of it.
Yeah.
Good on him.
Nah, Chris, you're more handsome than Seth.
Oh, Dr. Laz.
Dr. Laz wild.
Dr. Laz is wild.
Dr. Laz wild. Yeah, so...
He's following me in the...
I love how Alia loves conspiracies.
We'll do another conspiracy. We'll do some
Yeah, we'll
more.
do.
I mean, this is.
It's a conspiracy anyway.
Well, jails and
I know,
that.
but
and prisons.
what we've talked into is like a conspiracy.
It
anyway.
is. Well, is it? Could be truth.
Well, that's what a conspiracy is.
Well, is it truth?
You remember what we said last week? If you could have coffee with anyone, it was like
Conspiracy theorists.
if you could just like meet someone and like I said, they weren't allowed to lie, and like you could meet Michael Jackson and just say,
yes.
like we said last week, were you a pedophile? And he wasn't. He had the liar syndrome, and he just said no. Like, and then you knew it was all a conspiracy. Like, would your mind be able to cope with all that?
It'd be hard not to.
Like, imagine you got Bin Laden and you were like, did you bomb the Twin Towers? And he was like, no.
Yeah.
And you knew it was true. You'd be like,
Yeah, it would.
how would you live with that for the rest of your life? Like, your mind you'd be blown.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
That's why I think conspiracies sometimes are so, people love them because it's like,
They want them to be true.
yeah, it's like,
They want them to be
yeah,
true.
it's mind blowing.
But
The most handsome podcast on YouTube, Childo says.
we are. Thanks, Childo.
Did India land on the moon last week? Is that a conspiracy? Well, they shot a rocket there, didn't they? I saw the footage, but did they say? I'm not sure. I didn't watch it in any.
I saw a picture that Jimmy T put up, and he had like a donkey and a carriage.
I
Goes
saw
to India on the moon. It's like Indian the exploration.
I thought that was just a photo of Jim's backyard.
It was.
Ask Jimmy, he'll know if the India get there.
Jeez. Why is India going to the moon? Like, what's the point?
Well, maybe their whatever space program is like so far behind the rest of the world because of financial, and they're just doing it. They're like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. But who knows? I'll be selling real estate there soon.
I reckon you should, man. You got all the Indiania going down
You
there.
got, yeah, look, you got a real great view. You got a good front yard. There's a crater there. You got a view of Earth, but it only happens.
That's the best view.
It only happens once on the rotation.
And it gets cold. Very
Gets
cold.
really cold here. So,
Most times.
yeah, but like if you like it,
You need good heaters.
no, well, yeah, you need a good heater here. Is the one world order will come true? Ivan says.
Oh yeah, probably. I don't know.
The best NWO was Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash, and Scott Hall.
I think we're living in that kind
I
of
think we
now.
pretty much are. Yeah, I agree.
Lies, things are happening. There's a lot of things happening behind the scenes that are probably, coming into fruition to that degree. The one world order. Who knows? One world government. Let's hope. I'm wrong.
Let's hope you are. I read that on the internet yesterday.
Oh yeah, tonight.
Newsflash,
Yeah.
tomorrow night.
Oh, tomorrow.
Super blue moon plus Saturn in sight, 31st of August. There you go.
I used to love Perry Saturn. His wrestling move was the Rings of Saturn.
The Rings of Saturn. I liked New Order, Ivan.
New Order. New World Order, you mean?
New World Order, yeah, NWO, man.
New World Order. Do.
Do you know when they did that?
What?
Like, that was like obviously it was like the biggest heel turn in history, right?
It was.
But I liked him better as NWO than Hollywood.
Yeah.
In WCW.
Yeah.
That with Nash and Hall,
Oh, it was awesome.
it was better than Hollywood Hogan. I don't care what anyone says.
You mean it was better than Hulk?
Yeah, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, yeah. Well, that's what he was.
No, he was Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, I know, but
when
you
he
know,
was at NWO.
he was better than Hulk Hogan. I just think that persona, NWO.
Brother, the first thing that you need to do is tell these people to shut the hell up.
Yeah, no, but
what I gotta say.
Don't you reckon that persona was better than Hulk Hogan? Don't you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon.
It was better, eh?
It was. Mean Gene.
I know he never wanted to do it, but he suited a villain better.
Yeah.
He just did. I don't know why. It's because he was good for so long.
I've said it before, guys. WWF or WWE, whatever you want to call it, is like watching the world.
Yeah.
You got your good guys, you
Of
got your
course.
bad guys. They all fight in the ring. It's like politics, and then they go behind the curtain and they're all friends.
Now he says no. New Order song by Blue Monday. He says
Oh, there you go.
you are so young, Chris.
I am young.
It's good.
I'm a youngster.
Good getting told you're young.
It is nice.
It is. It's nice.
There's another video to have
There
a look
is.
at as well.
So this is the unescapable prisons. We'll bring it up. Doesn't go for very long. Let's bring this up.
3 of the most secure prisons in the world, totally impossible to escape from. Number 3, Fushu Prison. Here, any attempt to escape is punished by 2 months of total isolation. The guards have implemented motion detectors and advanced surveillance systems. But the real secret weapon of this prison lies in the fear of isolation, as the inmates know that in case of an escape attempt, their bed will be literally ripped away. Number 2, Black Dolphin. Considered one of the most believable places in Russia, it is home to the country's worst criminals. Here, prisoners face inhumane conditions, sharing tiny cells in pairs. Imagine 2 lost souls, locked in a cramped space, serving a life sentence. The walls seem to close in on them, depriving them of any glimmer of hope. And who do you think is number 1? Respond quickly in the comments and subscribe if you like the video. And finally, number 1, the Alcatraz. This prison was perched on an island isolated from the rest of the world. No prisoner has ever managed to escape from these impenetrable walls. With fewer than 300 criminals, Alcatraz housed the most dangerous individuals in all of America.
So everyone was as shocked as me and you were earlier tonight when we saw Lionel Messi's face at the front. But
I was
obviously
shocked.
whoever made that TikTok put Messi on there so people go, oh, Messi. But yeah, I think that was...
But yeah, like, Alcatraz was like, you know, that was a fortress.
Alia says Michael Schofield, hold my beer. Is Michael Schofield the one that escaped from Alcatraz?
I don't think anyone has.
I think...
No, I mean, I know that, you know...
No, but I think there is
What's
a
his
story.
name?
There's a story. There's a true story, I think, of 2 guys that got out.
Of
and-
Alcatraz.
Yeah, and one of them they found dead on the shore, but the other body was never found. So they don't know if he got...
Are you sure it's from Alcatraz?
Yeah.
I thought it was like impenetrable. Like couldn't get out.
Because it started falling apart and shit. And he got out, 2 of them, because people always trying to escape it. And
It's in an island.
yeah, it's in
Yeah,
San
yeah.
Francisco. And there's more chance that he got washed away at sea,
Yeah.
but they never found that body. And
Yeah.
one of them was on the shore, dead. So,
How good was The Rock, the movie?
yeah, it was good.
With Alcatraz,
Yeah.
with Sean Connery.
Sean Connery, Nicolas Cage was in
Oh,
it.
so good.
Handsome HFD casters. Yeah, we're wild. I'll be a guard.
We're
People
wild.
are shit scared of me. So my ex-husband says. 5 prisoners escaped from Alcatraz, never found. Yeah, that's what I mean. So, but I
Well,
think that one body they found, I think, on the shore or something. But the rest, yeah, were like, they got out, but they never found the body. So you would think they got washed away, but who knows?
Do you love watching prison shows?
Yes.
Have you ever seen Wentworth?
What about Tango and Cash?
Tango and Cash?
You know they just break out of prison. Kurt Russell and Sylvester
yeah,
Stallone.
that's good.
How they just break out of prison?
Yeah. But you've seen Wentworth?
Nah, I've heard about it though.
So good,
yeah.
man. It's a women's prison, and it takes you into the prison and it shows you how they all are, and it's full on, man.
Yeah, I like what
Full
me
on.
and Jess watch the documentaries, the real ones about the real. We like the real.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because the women's prisons are just
Oh, they're crazy.
They're as bad as
The women's ones are bad. The
Yeah.
children's ones are bad.
Oh yeah,
They're all bad,
the
bro.
juvie ones.
There's been some bad juvie ones. There was a bad one in Western Australia, wasn't there?
Yeah,
My wife loves Wentworth. I've never seen it.
it's a
Wentworth
great.
is awesome.
Dr. Laz, seriously, give it a go. It's a really good show.
Dr. Laz is wild.
It is really good. Yeah, Wentworth's great. The original Prisoner, yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go. Jimmy said that is one
Shawshank Redemption.
prison movie. It's one of the best, and it's rated,
best.
but on IMDb, it's got the highest rating of any movie of all time.
It is a good movie. Such a good.
It's
movie.
the highest rated movie.
Is that
of
when
all
he chips the wall
Yeah.
away for like ages and he
Yeah.
gets out? Yeah.
Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, it's a good movie, man.
Highest rated movie of all time.
Another one that's good is Green Mile's good.
Green Mile's really good.
It's really good. Not as good as Shawshank, but
Oh, it's up there. It's a good movie.
it's good. What else? I love Life. It was comedy. with
Yeah,
Eddie
Life was
Murphy,
good.
With,
No, it was.
Martin
It
Lawrence.
was. It was comedy, but it was drama
It
as well.
It was good.
Yeah.
It really showed what it was like back in
Yeah.
those days, especially with the black community.
Yeah.
And how many, and they were like slaves. But if you're a convict and they treat you like a slave, I think that's a good punishment.
Yeah, I agree.
Like the way they were working and stuff.
Yeah, 100%. You know, when he's like,
The line,
he's like,
the gun line.
he's like, where? You know, what are you going to do when you get out, man? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have my club.
The
There's going to
boom
be a
boom
room up there. It's going to be the upper room. The boom boom room. The upper room, man. He's like, you can come in, you know, you're going to be lined up. There's going to be women everywhere, and you're going to come into the boom boom room.
Yeah, it's like,
Upper room. I love Eddie. I love Eddie Murphy.
that was a good movie, man. That was one of my favorite movies.
Prison Break was popular. Yeah, that was popular.
Prison Break. See, I never watched that.
Vinegar Tits is wild, Amanda says.
Vinegar Tits is wild.
LOL, Dougie, LOL.
You know who Vinegar Tits
Who's
is?
Vinegar Tits?
She's like the prison, the guard, one of the guards.
In Wentworth.
In Wentworth,
Okay.
yeah. She's actually played in the next Underbelly.
Okay. There's 2 words I thought I'd never see together. Vinegar and tits. Dr. Laz says. And there you go, Dr. Laz.
Vinegar Tits, yeah. She's a good actress, man.
Who's the actress again? Sorry.
I can't remember what her name is, but she plays in the new Underbelly.
Yeah.
You know the lady in Sydney that was the con artist, and then she went missing. Happened in 2020, like just.
Oh, I don't know. I'll probably know about it if I hear it, but
Anyway, she played her.
yeah.
In the recent Underbelly.
Well, I had my ex-coach, Chris Trajanovsky. He played for Australia, right?
Yeah.
Soccer, and he was playing for Marconi in the NSL back in the day. And the guy that owned Marconi they did an underbelly on him. He was like a full,
Oh, really?
yeah, mafioso over there.
Oh.
And he was telling me stories about his like, they were getting paid good money, and he goes, he would let us go, you know, to his club that he had.
Yeah.
And he was like, you can come in, drink whatever you want. He's like, but you play soccer for me. And he was like, I think he was Russian. He's like, you touch any of the women? He goes, I'll kick you off the team and I'll kill you. That's what he was like. And Chris goes, I didn't even know what was going on. He goes, I was just a young guy playing for, and all the boys were like, I'll come to the club. Yeah, the owner owns this club. And he was like, I don't know what the fuck was going on. He goes, this guy was a psycho. He goes, then 15, 20 years later, they did this underbelly on him. And he goes, I was like freaking out. Like, what the fuck,
Like, he's
man?
like full on.
Yeah, full on like
know,
mafia.
Mafia, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was watching Underbelly last night, actually.
There you go.
The first one with, what's his name? Alphonse Gangitano.
Gangitano.
And he was played by Vince Colosimo.
Yeah.
Does it so well.
Yeah, Vince Colosimo's a good actor.
I love that Underbelly.
She is amazing, Barbara says. Hey, Barbara Trudeau says. Amanda is wild.
Amanda is wild.
That's from Ivan.
Ivan's wild too.
Ivan's wicked, except he sports Liverpool.
Ivan loves when I think it's the sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Oh, Ivan loves that.
He loves it.
Ivan loves that one. I'll tell you which one Guy loves. You ready?
Oh, I'll have a look.
Your days are over, mister.
Your days are over, mister. You know what? I love Kung Pao. Great.
Kung Pao's wild.
Great movie.
Ivan cracked up at that one too.
Yeah.
Your days are over, mister.
Your days are over, mister.
Just his voice. Like, do you remember when Rumble in the Bronx came out and you could see it was shot in New York, but it was all dubbed? How did they shoot a movie in New York City
And dub it.
and it was all dubbed? And there was like American actors that were talking Chinese and it was dubbed.
No, I think the American actors.
No, because you can see him, that Italian guy's like, and then it's like, you're dead. And he's like, you know, like in Wayne's World, you know when Wayne's World pays out when he gets into a fight with his girlfriend's dad, the Asian,
Yeah.
and he pays out and he's like, you want to fight?
You fight me.
You fight me.
Fight me.
And he's like, and they're like, get into a rumble.
Dude, Kung Pao's one of the greatest.
Oh, man. Dr. Les, thank you very much.
Dr. Les,
for
thank you
Super
so
Chat.
much.
Great show.
$5 super chat. What a legend.
What a champion.
Thanks.
Okay,
thanks, Dr.
USA.
Les.
Yeah, okay, USA.
Okay,
I'm
USA.
surprised Bloodsport wasn't dubbed.
Could have been.
Could have been. Some of it could have been.
Nah, it's killer. It's
It's
like
killer.
the way, some of what he says in that movie.
He's like, oh, so you must be Mr. Frank Dux. No, it's Dukes. Oh, like put up your Dukes, right?
Who the heck's Mr. Lin?
Who the
I'm
heck?
Lin.
Who the heck's Mr. Lin? I'm Lin.
You must be Jackson. You look like a Jackson.
You look like a Jackson. How funny is Jackson, man? Ogre.
Jackson's
He's
wild.
wild. Jackson is wild, man.
Jackson's the best.
That's wicked, man.
We're gonna do some more watch-alongs, like movie ones.
We do. We definitely do. Was Monkey dubbed?
Monkey Magic?
That was criminal.
It was dubbed, but that was the best.
Oh,
dub.
Monkey Magic was dubbed, 100%.
Okay, I love Pigsy.
Have you seen Van Damme losing it on TikTok about Bloodsport 2? Did they make a Bloodsport too?
No, they can't.
Well, do you know what the funniest thing about Bloodsport is, Childo, is that it's meant to be based on this story of Frank Dukes and that, but apparently it's all fabricated. He was like the biggest liar. He was like a con man. Frank Dukes was like all lie. And it was like based on him.
Yeah, it was a lie.
Yeah, he's like all lie.
It was a good story, though.
Yeah, but like Van Damme's like...
Van Damme's like, oh, fuck.
Fucking hell, man. I was Frank Dukes, man. Oh, it was a wild movie. Kumite probably does exist.
Yeah, it does.
100% it would.
It would.
100%.
100%.
Van Damme would lose it about that. He made like 14 blood sports, didn't he? Like, I mean, kickboxers, not blood sports.
Those all-time amazing movies.
Bloodsport was wicked, man.
100%.
Bloodsport was wicked.
Anything else, man? Like, was there any other videos?
Nah, they were the 4. We brought up the 4 videos.
So let me ask you this question, KP. If you were, I don't know, committed a crime, which jail would you want to go to?
Norway.
Norway. It's a pretty dumb question, eh?
I would be in Norway prison.
You know what'd be cool? If you, like, lived in Norway and, like, just traveled the world and just did crime and you just get extradited.
Like,
Well, you go to a country that does extradition.
yeah.
Does Norway, they must do it.
Don't know.
And you just get taken back to Norway in, like,
That'd be
luxury.
the best. Like, I'd be like, if I was there, like, I think about it, it's... What if, like, a guy knows about this prison, right? And he's, like, homeless. And he's like, fuck it, I'm just going to kill someone
Yeah.
so I can go have a killer house. I'll be there for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And I'll just keep, you know, like, protesting it and, you know, so I can just live there for the rest of my life. I got no job. I got no money. As if people don't think like that. There would be criminals that think like that because there's con artists everywhere. There could be a guy that's lost all his money and he'd be like, I'm just going to kill someone now so I can... Because they do it in America just to get free healthcare and go into a normal penitentiary. Imagine knowing you could go into a jail that's... Into a prison. Sorry, not jail. That's like... You got a house.
It's crazy. It's crazy,
Well,
man.
you get a 1-bedroom apartment, bro, with a flat screen and an Xbox.
That's awesome.
They're probably they're that spoiled. They're probably like, oh, why'd you give me an Xbox and not a PlayStation? That's how spoiled they seem.
Yeah. It's crazy,
It's bullshit, man.
What do you think? What do you think of the jails here? Like what they have TV still.
Does Yatla, the prison?
I'm pretty sure in their
It probably
rooms they got
does.
TVs
Yeah.
and they, you know.
Well, they reckon a lot of people say our jails are a bit soft, or our prisons are a bit soft. Yeah.
I think they're not as bad as they used to be.
Do you guys still remember the movie The Gods Must Be Crazy? I definitely remember the movie The Gods Must Be Crazy.
No, I
Ivan.
don't remember.
That my uncle used to show it to me when I was young. Prison theme watch along. Prison movie. Jimmy says. It's got to be Life or Shawshank Redemption. Hey, Chris. Childo. My apologies for not joining the AFL show last night, but the prisoners running the treadmill went on strike for 3 hours. No power.
I don't get it.
Is he paying out Port Adelaide?
He paying us, huh?
I don't know what he's doing. Oh, shit.
How am I doing with the tip? I can't believe I lost my tipping, man. I'm upset.
What, in the Premier League?
Yeah. I'm upset.
You should be really trying to win, man, because you got $200 up for
I
grabs.
know, I'm trying.
Like,
Oh, good, Dr. Laz, we missed you. Yes, we did miss you.
but Alia said, and I'm a man of my word, he said, we're none of us allowed to help you.
No one's helping me.
No, but he said that. He's like, I'll give him 100 because, but if I find out anyone helped him,
Hey, look, it's a good start. I've had a good start.
you have. I can't believe Rob and Alia put up $100 each to you.
Oh, God. I'm going to win it, man. I'm going to win it.
That's wild, man.
Can't wait for it to, you know.
Did you tip Tottenham this week?
I haven't done my tips for this week yet.
I tipped Tottenham this week.
Who they're playing?
We said it on the podcast. I think they will win, yeah. It's away, I reckon. No.
Tottenham's winning the whole thing, man.
They lost last night
Who?
on penalties to Fulham in the Carabao Cup.
Yeah, but that's just a Carabao Cup. Man.
He had the Rezzies in.
Had the Rezzies, man.
May not have won it last year, but I thought he would have went for it. Ange, I know we're talking about sport
Did he
again.
have
But,
outs?
well, he put like reserves in,
Oh.
fringe players. But whereas Eric Ten Hag last year for Man United, he didn't care. He just wanted to win a trophy. Like Mourinho always used to say, he goes, just try win anything. It doesn't matter if it's the Carabao Cup. And I really think, I thought...
Maybe it's a ploy.
Yeah, you know what? I actually think he.
Good use for Chris.
No, I think he fucked up, man. I think Ange should have went for it.
Mm.
I really think he should have went for it because that's arguably the only trophy he probably could win.
Never
But
know.
now he can't. But he should. I think he should have.
Well,
won
he
harder
can
for
win it again next year.
Yeah, next year. But I'm talking about if he had like won that in the first year, you know how much of a hero he would have been?
Super Chats,
Super Chats are wild.
Yeah, too many changes. There you go. Too many changes.
Ange has only the EPL on target and FA Cup. Yeah, but I just think he should have went for it. I think, like Ten Hag did last year, he went for it, man.
Yep.
But yeah, too many changes. Super Chats are wild, damn.
Guys.
Damn, you know what? Just talking about the... sorry, I cut Chris off then.
No, that's all right.
Because it came to me. I made a dish before I was showing Chris. I was eating it.
Oh, so hot, bro.
You know, and it had the California Reaper in it. That's what that coffin chip is made from, the California Reaper. And I was just eating it normally, just talking to Chris, and he was like laughing. Where's my chip, man?
Where's his chip, damn?
Far out, man.
Great minds, Father Jim.
He aiming for top 4 in FA Cup. Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
But do you know what? I think he should have went for Carabao because that gets you in Europe, and I don't think he can win the other two.
Nah.
There's no chips in Australia. Yeah, well, we're expecting you to get it from...
What do you mean there's no chips?
We're expecting you to get it from America, man.
Guess what, man?
What?
I got a PS5.
You did?
He just reminded me because there's chips.
Yeah, chips.
Yeah, because the chip wasn't in Australia.
Yeah.
I played my first game today.
Fortnite?
It looked really good.
Yeah, the PS5 version is better.
Yeah, it looks way better.
It's way better.
A lot smoother.
Well, remember when I was gaming and I
crispier.
put COD on and you like the graphics look amazing?
Yeah, they
COD
do.
looks wicked on
Does
it, man.
look good. So, no, I'm glad I got it. The kids came home from school and they went nuts.
They've been freaking out.
Yeah, freaking out. They haven't played it yet. I said on the weekend they can have a game.
Yeah.
But yeah, they yeah, it's pretty cool. It's massive. It's so big, man. It's like
It's huge. There's no coffin chip. Yeah, because we thought you were going to get it from America, man. I'm going to get it. I'm a man of my word. Mark my word. I'll get the coffin chip. I don't care if I have to get it from overseas. And I'll smash that motherfucker.
Well, we're still waiting for the banana thing to happen.
The banana and Sprite.
You know what? That's at the moment. People are. It's getting pushed out on
I'll
TikTok.
vomit. There's no doubt about that. I'll vomit.
But you said I'll give it a try.
Yeah, I would. Early sacrifice KP, still in honeymoon period for Ange, so he took the opportunity to deliberately lose. Yeah, true. Every year there's a darling to the media in England. 1 year it was Klopp. 1 year it was Pep. 1 year it was Potter. This year it's Ange. Because there's never been an Australian, the way he talks, he's the media's darling at the moment.
They love him.
Oh, they love him.
Do they?
Yeah. And that's playing for in his advantage because they're not going to get on his case. Where if Tottenham go through a bad run, they're not going to drill him because they love him. He's full media darling at the moment.
Well, if he gets top 4, they'll be massive.
Oh, yeah, that'd be huge. Parent question for everyone. Mum at work gets auto-notified whenever her teen daughter uses her bus card. Is that overkill?
A parent question. Mum work. Yeah, that's overkill.
That's overkill?
It's a bus card, man. Different story if it was a credit card or like something like that, but it's a bus card. Like, take it easy.
That is a bit overkill.
It is overkill.
But isn't that what we do as parents now? Like, we overkill everything.
Yeah.
Like, you look at it, it's like...
Yeah, but people are not as strict anymore.
I know, but yeah, you look at it, it's like the way our parents were raised, us, it's like... So many people turned out, like, good. Why are we changing it so much? Why?
It's not we changing it. It's the new generation.
Yeah, but
and the
why?
way they think.
Why?
Because it's
who?
media changes internet and everything has changed everything, man. It's not just the parents. Parents, like, I still have the same values that my parents brought up with me, but like, you know, the kids are still different because they, you know,
they go to school.
Well, yeah, school. Yeah, school's not a big one. Social media is a huge one. All internet, and it's just changed, man. This generation's different to the generation from before. For our generation.
Well, like, this is the question. I'd love to know this question. Who was the Pelican that was the first person that turned around and said, it's not good to discipline and hit your kid if he's bad. That person's a pelican.
What's wrong with pelicans? You and your pelicans?
Because they're dumb. Just a word.
Pelicans are what?
I didn't say they're not good, but it's just if you've got the brain of a pelican, you don't have the brain.
There'll be like a pelican somewhere watching this and going, "Why is he, being so mean to us?"
Yeah. Anyway, who was that? Who was the like? And I don't mean a parent that like sits there and abuses a child.
No,
I mean
like a smack.
Like when I fucked around and Andrico grabbed me and went whack, and then I never did that again.
Yeah.
Who was the pelican that said that's bad? And then started this whole trend that it's bad. You're not allowed to discipline your child.
Yeah, it's I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. I don't know. It's crazy that it's gone down that way.
Because not only did I fear my dad, but I respected him.
Yeah, that's like me. Yeah.
And what is wrong with that? What is wrong with an element of fear of your superior? Because when you're at work, there's meant to be an element of fear of your boss because he's your boss. He can fire you.
Well, people are more scared of that now.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So your boss can fire you. Your coach, there's meant to be an element of fear. He can drop you. So what's wrong with an element of fear of your dad or your mum, your parent? What the hell's wrong with that?
I think in Western society it's changed, but if you go to like, Middle Eastern countries still, there's still elements of that. Which, but it's
100%.
just Western society is just changed, man.
Coffin chip has been blocked. I'll get it, GT. Trust me. I'll get it. I'll get the coffin chip.
I want to see it.
I'll get it. And then he's cracking up at he loves Pelican. He supports the New Orleans Pelicans now because of me, he told me.
Who?
GT in NBA.
Does he?
That's who he goes for. New Orleans Pelicans because he loves it. Leroy put a picture of a pelican. Agree, KP. One, belting highlights seriousness if used rarely. Exactly.
Isn't there a line in Scarface? And Al Pacino goes, Pelican, look at that pelican fly.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Doesn't he say that?
Yeah. Most of the time, just the threat of the belt was enough to get me to stop. Damn is saying 100. That's what was me because I knew I'd been placked. And my dad, he was like Indiana Jones with his belt, bro. He used to go like this, like he could get it in one swoop, like, and had it out like a whip. And I was like,
oh wow.
Me and George and Chris, we'd run, bro,
yeah.
like petrified.
My dad used to get the grapevine sticks, and he used to like thin them down, and he used to whip us with on our legs. It used to hurt.
Yeah, it would, man.
That's what we used to get. It's called the Vertigo. They used to call it the
The
Vertigo.
Vertigo with Kane. It might because he'd come home from work and he'd just like and oh man, he used to do this look. He just used to look if we were in the car, like being little wankers, like in the car, like fucking around. He would go like this. My dad would just turn around.
But see now,
and look at us like the Terminator, and we shoot ourselves.
See now with my kids, if I smack them, I feel bad after.
Yeah, because you're like,
what is wrong with me?
I don't know.
My dad didn't feel bad.
Yeah, but that's because they're brought up to think that you're bad if you do that. So you,
like, I've smacked them like maybe once.
Yeah.
But not hard or anything. But
yeah.
I feel or even if you yell, it's more yelling than anything now. But if you feel like you feel bad afterwards, like
yeah,
and then you don't do it. But then they don't get disciplined. I don't know.
I agree. Damn, you did wrong when the belt comes out. 100%. The world is fucked up when the intelligent have to stop telling the truth so as not to offend stupid people. 100%.
Yeah.
Leroy's cracking up. Yeah, KP, the wog look was a killer. Listen, when my dad did the wog look, man, he would look at me and you didn't think this about their dad, ethnic dads, obviously, because that's what I got experience of. My ethnic dads, uncles, everything. They were like the Terminator to me.
Yeah. They were.
Like if they were angry, I was like, and it wasn't that. I was like, uncles, everything. I was petrified of them.
Yeah. My papa was a bit scary.
Oh
too.
man, but poor man.
Not my dad's dad was. My mum's dad.
No, my dad's dad was.
He was alright.
But I loved him. I was so close with him.
Yeah.
But he was staunch, bro. And like when we were young.
What? Stop! My hands are too big.
No, generally the smack hurts their pride.
Oh, my hands for the
not
smacking.
them physically. Stop it, Chris. Your hands are too big. Just saying.
Actually, I got really small hands.
I don't think we did that. I think mine's bigger than Chris's. See?
You have bigger hands than me. I got small hands.
I have
For a big guy, I got small hands.
I have big hands, and I've got a heap strong grip. Like my dad, everyone used to always say, "I got hands like pliers."
My best mate Sandro, who
He would have.
passed,
He was
he
concreter,
he was a bit smaller than me, but he had massive hands.
and he would have had a grip.
huge hands.
and
and
he
I was
would've had
like
a
this.
strong grip.
I was like, dude, like, how big are your
Yeah.
hands? He used to laugh at my hands. Like,
Yeah,
what do
yeah.
you got small hands for, man? I go, I don't know, man.
Yeah, and I got because of the work and that same with he would have been. I got like grip like pliers.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Depend.
real- I got
Well, he
the-
was a concreter.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He would have
and
been the
yeah,
same.
yeah. So
It makes you like
I got supple hands. Supple.
Apparently, I have piano hands, Dr. Lake. Remember when John said it? We were talking about it on the podcast one day. Remember? And John was like, he's like, me and Chris have got office hands. He's like, Kerry's are working hands.
We got office hands.
He's
yeah.
like, KP's hands are
'Cause
working.
I don't. I mean, I do work. I do gardening at at home, but other than that,
Little Mitts Chris. That's a good name. That's your
Little
wrestling. That
Mitts.
can be your wrestling name.
Little Mitts.
Chris.
I like it. I like it.
What are piano hands? Are they like George Costanza hands, Rob?
I could,
remember
be,
when he's
I,
like,
could, I could be a hand model.
Like George Costanza. And he's like, he wasn't master of his domain. Are you a hand model, big man? Leroy's cracking up. Remember, he's like, she's like, show me your hands. I've never noticed your hands. And he goes like this to Elaine, and she's like, yeah. She just walks off.
I mean, all these calendars.
Yeah.
No one knows.
No one knows about it. So you know those like Zamels, like ones where you just like it's got
Yeah,
a
that's
ring.
me.
The best. Far out. That's funny, man.
No, I got nice. I don't know why, man. I
Well,
think
don't wait.
all my relatives are small, man. I'm like one of just the biggest guy in my
Does-
relatives.
Amanda like ever like can't open a jar and you can open it for her.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so you still can open the
Oh,
jars.
yeah,
and
that's
shit.
just strength. But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, if I start going to the gym and get calluses, but like working hard, you still even going to the gym can't replace working hard
No.
guys.
No.
Like my mate Sandra and yourself.
No.
Just-
We remember we talked about it on the podcast with Adrian. Adrian was a physio.
yeah, yeah.
And he's a boxer. He boxed in the ring. And remember he said it. He was like,
It's brute strength. You guys have got brute
and
strength.
it's not. I don't think it's brute strength. I
Well,
think when you go, I think it's core strength, because when they say the best workout in a gym is to work your core, and when you're out working every day, you're doing core workout because you're bending, you're picking up, you're doing,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
especially concrete, you're doing core workout.
Yeah, you are.
So your core is really strong.
Well, that time you came to my house and picked up that.
Yeah,
You're
well,
holding
that's
it
what I
like
mean.
on an angle, not just like picking it up. You were holding it on an angle
Yeah, just do
on
it.
a roof, and I'm like trying to hold up myself afterwards. Well, I'm trying to pass
But
it
you
here,
just-
and I was like, "Fuck, how
But
heavy
it's
is this
like
thing?"
you get used to things.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you know what it is. Your body gets used to doing that
Yeah, of course.
motion, and yeah, and you know, have you ever seen the movie with Denzel Washington, Man on Fire?
No.
Man on Fire is a bit like The Equalizer. He's like, it's one of his best. You got to watch Man on Fire. He's in Mexico. He's an ex-CIA agent, and he's like an ex-assassin for the government. But he's like given up on life,
Yeah.
and then he goes to Mexico to protect this girl, and he like gets a bond with her, and someone kidnaps her, and he just
Lose it.
sort of about what we're talking about goes
Yeah,
vigilante.
Yeah, yeah.
But he says to her in this scene, he goes, there's no strong and weak. He goes, there's only trained and untrained.
Yeah.
Because if you're trained, you can hurt someone. If you're untrained, you can't.
of course.
You know what I mean? And like when you hear him say it, you're like, yeah, that's true. Like and that's what it is. When your body's trained, core to be strong, it's strong. It's trained that
Yeah,
way.
of course.
It's trained to put up with shit.
Hey, can you say the V word again?
Which V word?
The V word. Say the V word.
What V word?
What you just talked about.
What did I say?
Just say it.
I don't even know what I said.
The
Vigilante.
No, you said vigilante.
Vigilante. Same. Both. I don't know. Vigilante. Yeah, vigilante. Vigilante. Vigilante, isn't it?
I said vigilante.
Yeah, vigilante. What did you say? Vigilante.
You said vigilante. I say vigilante.
We always say shit different, don't we?
Why do you say vigilante?
Because he's a vigilante.
Vigilante.
Oh, am I saying it right or wrong? Greece playing New Zealand basketball in 10 minutes. Oh, my God. Good night,
Ivan,
y'all.
good night.
Peace worldwide. Ivan, glory, glory, Man United, man. Don't worry.
Go the power.
Say chance. KP.
I say chance.
Am I saying it right or is he saying it right?
I say chance. Did you say France or France?
France.
I'll say France.
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 France 98. France. Am I saying... KP's saying it wrong. Which one, though? Am I saying vigilante wrong?
I say vigilante.
It's
not a vigilante.
Why not?
Vigilante?
Yeah, why not?
This doesn't sound right.
Vigilante.
Yeah.
But why is it a lanty?
Because that's what it is.
Why?
Vigilante. It's a vigilante.
I say like Chris does.
Vigilante?
KP right with chance and France.
Chance.
I say...
Did you say dance?
I say vigilante.
Vigilante.
Vigilante,
Yeah,
he says.
You say
Vigilante.
Vigilante.
Oh.
I say vigilante.
When you like say the V word, I was like, Vinicius?
No, 'cause I heard you say it, I'm like, vigilante? What?
Vigilante.
It's just like saying auntie.
I don't know. KP is right with chance and France. Is it right?
I say
No, but-
France.
Yeah, but is it right or is it just a way that people say it? Is there no right or wrong?
No, France.
It's like tomato.
Tomato.
Don't some people say tomato?
I say tomato.
Yeah, but some people say tomato, don't
I
they?
think Americans say tomato.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. So it's not right or wrong. It's just how someone says something. Chance is chance. That's what I say, chance.
Chance. No, I don't say chance. I say chance. I say chance.
Well, how do you say Bournemouth?
Bournemouth.
Yeah, the team. And Portsmouth.
Bournemouth.
Yeah, but it's not. It's Bournemouth.
No, this is mouth.
But it's pronounced Bournemouth.
Yeah, but why?
Derby. You say Derby, I say Derby.
It's ER.
But the place in England,
It's called Derby.
Derby County is called Derby County.
And it's spelled D-E-R.
D-E-R-B-Y, and that's how the whole country
But
pronounces
Derby.
it. And they're English.
I think over here we say local
No,
Derby,
Americans,
don't we?
yeah, but Americans say Derby.
Derby.
The roller Derby.
They do.
But it's pronounced Derby.
Well, in WA, they call the Freo West Coast game the Derby.
Yeah, no, but it shouldn't be. It should be, I think it should be Derby.
Derby.
Because there's a city called Derby, and that's how they pronounce it. Melbourne, pronounced Melbourne, not
You know
Melbourne.
what grinds my gears?
Do you say Melbourne? You don't say Melbourne.
No, Melbourne.
Yeah, Melbourne.
Melbourne.
Exactly. You don't pronounce the R or the U.
No, don't. I say Melbourne.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think there's a right or wrong.
Melbourne.
It's just how...
I know the Americans go Melbourne.
And Brisbane.
Brisbane.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. I don't think there's a right or wrong. I just think it's how people pronounce things.
It's just funny.
Yeah, I know. I just don't even notice
How
it.
about, all right, this is a different one because it's not the same pronunciation.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go to get a chicken parmesan,
Mm-hmm.
I say, let's go get a palmy.
Mm-hmm.
People in Melbourne say, let's go get a palmer.
Yeah, they're pinheads.
It's palmy, eh?
Palmy.
It's palmy.
Well, yeah.
It's not palmer.
No, palmy.
Well, they think we're crazy that we say
They just cut it because it's spelt that way, Parmigiana, but it's palmy.
100%.
Yeah.
All you people out there that are from Melbourne, it's definitely palmy, not this bloody.
You
Palmer.
say Perth, not Perth. Exactly.
What Perth?
Perth.
Perth?
Perth.
Perth?
You know when people don't pronounce TH and they say like nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. They go nothing.
There's nothing to see here.
Ain't nothing. Parmigiana. Yeah, it is palmy. But I think they
it's
spell it
Parmigiana,
with,
but we say it's a palmy.
No, but he's saying Parmigiana. But I think some people spell it. I think they spell it.
Parmigiana.
I think they spell it with
Parma.
an A.
They
yeah,
do.
They spell it P. That's why they say it like that.
I say palmy.
Notice some countries are verting back to their origins. Turkey now Turkey and Czechia. Is that Czechia? Okay. I was educated to say the full word, Chris. Parmigiana.
Yeah, but they say Parma.
I know. I don't know
Melbourne.
why.
I say palmy. So.
Oh, it's nice to know Turkey are going back to their origins. Can they give Cyprus their country back then, since they're going back to their origins?
Are they?
Oh, well, that's what Rob said. He goes, Turkey, they pronounce their name Turkey now.
Only way to spell Parmigiana. There you
So
go.
I'm like, if they're going back to their origins, go back to their country then, man. Give us our country. Yeah, I agree, Dan, but I just think in Melbourne, I think at the restaurants they spell it with an A.
Are you sure? Because they reckon they spell it with the Parmigiana.
That's what I'm saying. I think they spell it Parma with an A.
Yeah, they do.
But I think here we
say
spell
palmy.
it correctly, and say it correctly. But in Melbourne, for some reason, I think they put an A there. I don't know why.
Bloody people from Melbourne.
I knew KP would mention that. Turkey, Chechnya. Yeah, Turkey.
Do you say dance or dance?
Let's go for a dance. I think I say both, eh?
I've never said dance.
I
ever.
think dance is if you're like me and Jess can have a dance.
Oh my god.
Well, I think that's like the more posh word, isn't it?
Do you say pants or pants?
No, pants. But that's TS.
Let's
It's
go
not
put some pants on.
You know, but that's TS. It's not CE.
Oh, okay.
It's like dance and dance are like chants. Like how I say chants, but that's TS. PANTS.
Oh, it's different. Okay.
It's like ants. You don't say aunts because it's ANTS.
Ants.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Well, you do say your aunt.
Yeah, for your auntie, but I don't say. I say Thea.
Yeah.
Dance, no
No, yeah, dance.
Yeah, I think it's dance.
Yeah, but if you go to a posh school,
Yeah,
they
you
say
probably
dance
try
over
to
here.
say dance. Yeah.
They do. I remember this girl that we used to be friends with, and we used to go out with her. Hey, do you want to go dancing? I'm like, what?
Sounds like a
What?
load of arrogance to me.
Mm-hmm.
Some words have the AH, others have AAA. Well, look,
Anyway, I just thought I'd point to that because you did say vigilante.
it's like I said when I asked everyone on here and there was an argument. I started an argument. I was like, how do you pronounce the letter H? And I had to prove that it's pronounced.
H.
No, but it's not. It's
Why?
pronounced
Why isn't it?
because the H is silent.
Yeah, but when you pronounce a house, you go. Huh.
I know, but
So how is it
when
silent?
you pronounce the letter by itself,
Yeah, but why? That's
I
stupid.
don't fucking know. I didn't invent it.
Yeah, but are you sure about that?
100%. It says in the dictionary pronunciation AITCH.
Because you don't go. It's a ouch
I know, but
for a
see,
house.
look, he wrote it there. It's pronounced. I'll type how
I'm with Chris.
Yeah, Leroy's. It's pronounced
Leroy's
like this.
wild.
I'll write how it's actually pronounced. That's what it says in the dictionary. So there's still an H at
alright.
the end,
So HFD media would be HFD media. Is
pretty much.
that what you're saying?
Mhm.
Because HFD, the H, are you saying?
Yeah.
It's an acronym.
Yep.
All right, I'll start
H-
calling ourselves HFD.
HFD media.
Well, that's what you're saying.
But I'm not saying it. It's a
Well,
fact.
it doesn't sound right.
I know, but look, even Damn wrote it. Rob is saying that's 100% correct.
So
It's
we're called HFD media. Is what you're saying? H.
Yep. But when we pronounce
Oh,
Hunky.
thank you so much.
This is from Barbara doing a great job, boys.
Thank you, Barbara.
Thanks, Barbs.
Thanks,
Can we-
Barbs. Legend.
See, and Leroy's saying H. I don't like it. It's not that I didn't make the rule. But see how Rob is saying it? It's just how it is in the dictionary. For some reason, it's,
H. Barbara's wild. Thanks,
Barbara is wild. Barbara is wild. Listen, guys, if you're new, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Tell us how you pronounce the letter H.
H.
You know what I mean?
Turned from prisons to...
Chris, you
yeah.
obviously wagged English class.
Hey, I went to ESL.
I did ESL and got an
I
A.
did ESL. I got like A's in ESL.
I got A.
Hmm.
Do you know what's so
A
funny?
plus.
They made me do ESL because they were like this was in high school, and they were like
Do you speak Greek at home?
they didn't. They were like, do you? And I did because my dad.
Well, I didn't.
But my dad did. We spoke Greek here
I spoke Greek to my
all the time,
grandparents.
and I was like, they were like, do you speak Greek at home? And I was like, yeah. And Mr. Vatakis, right, was friends with my dad, and he came in one day and he was like, "What are you doing here?" I was like, "They put me here," and he started laughing. I was like, "I don't know."
They just asked me if I taught Greek at home.
That's
And I
what-
said
and I
yes.
said, yeah. I just
And
said
then I
yes.
went to ESL.
And it was like I was getting A's.
I was getting A's all the time. It was like
It's wild.
the tests were like, write this down. I went to
I know, it
the
was
shop.
the worst. It was like, how would you say you went to the shop in English? I went to the shop.
How do you write?
A plus.
A plus.
It was wild.
It was the best.
God bless Barbara. She needs to dial in as a VIP guest. Agree, Jimmy T. Dr.
does, she
Lester.
does.
I don't know. Yeah, but I did speak Greek here. But I obviously English was my first language. I spoke fluent.
Look, man, it was just one of those things that we got away with at school,
100%.
and probably hampered our English going forward.
I was real good at English
Oh, yeah.
because of, and I think to this day I attribute it to this was that
Yeah.
I collected comics and I used to read comics every day.
Yeah.
Like every day. And I think that's why I was good at English.
Yeah.
Because I just read.
I was okay.
It doesn't matter what I read, I was reading all the time.
I was all right. Like, I can, I'm not too bad, but yeah.
Go to shop.
Nothing special.
No, but they asked us how you would go. And that if you wrote something like that in ESL, Rob, you'd get an A.
You would.
Did you go to the shop? I went to the shop. They'd give you an A.
Yeah. That's the best.
Oh, thank you, lovely people. Barbara says, your parents must have been so proud. My dad was proud.
English far out.
I did good in Greek,
I would
too.
have hated English literature. Oh, that would have been bad.
My
Like
father
poems
learned
and-
English via Phantom Comics. There you go. My bapu learnt English from the TV Plus. TV.
Oh, the TV Plus, yeah,
He used
yeah.
to sit there
TV
and read
guy.
it. He just used to read it. and
George
read it.
Costanza,
Yeah.
Frank Costanza used
And
to
that's how my
collect them.
bapu Christo, and he would read
That's
it.
awesome.
Loved it.
Yeah.
And then he was obsessed with Carlton because Kernahan went there and he was when he came here, he was going for the Bays. And Kernahan's dad used to go into their shop at the Bay. He loved Kernahan.
Kernan's wild.
He loved him.
I used to like Kernahan.
Loved him.
Mm.
Every time he'd just want to watch the football to watch Kernahan.
Kernahan was great.
Loved him. I was Hess at English. My opa learnt Portuguese from their newspaper. Yeah, there you go.
My grandmother, she still struggles to speak English.
On my year, I went to the grave, both of them speaking English. My dad's mum, she could say hello.
That's like my.
That's
both,
it.
That's like both of mine. They're not
My
very
mum's
good.
mum.
They understand more
Yeah.
than they can speak.
My
it.
mum's mum invented Gringlish.
Always
But,
said to me, I go to my grandma's every time I see him. I go, you've been here for
They don't
60
care.
years,
They don't care.
and you still can't speak the language.
care.
That's. I go, that's a disgrace.
They don't care.
They're like, no, we're Greek. I'm like, yeah, but
you're in
you live in
Australia.
Australia. You should know the language by
Yeah,
now.
They don't care.
And they go, no.
Man, I know people that came here on the boat
You know what I mean?
with my dad, because my dad learnt English in Cyprus. And there were some people that like same age as him, best mates on the boat with him, that still struggle to speak English.
Crazy, man.
And had jobs here, everything.
Like, I know. You'd think that they'll know English
Yeah.
by now, but they
Yeah, I
just
know.
don't. I mean, crazy, man.
Leroy, Opa, Dutch or German? German. I just surf. Wunderbar. Ja. Jar Jar Binks. I think they were saying ja, as in ja. And then Jar Jar Binks is wild.
Do you say graph or graph?
Graph.
I say graph.
Yeah, graph. If you graph something, like on the wall,
No,
like
no,
with spray paint,
People in
but you
Eastern-
mean like
no,
a graph?
people in Eastern states say graph.
Well, they're pinheads.
It's a graph.
It's a graph.
It's a graph.
Rob, is it
Definitely
graph or
graph.
graph? Chris,
Graph.
Chris, that's normal. My relatives did that too. 30 years here, speak very little English. Yeah. Yeah, Binks.
Yeah,
That's
Binks.
wild. That would have been my yeah. She was like, yeah, Binks.
Yeah, Binks is wild. Jar Jar Binks. Mm.
Best 3-foot wave I've ever rode was a few weeks back, Leroy said.
Leroy's wild.
Leroy is wild. Where was it at, Leroy?
Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar Binks was wicked, man.
He was.
Everyone hated him. That's why I liked him. Everyone was like, he ruined the movie.
Why? He didn't ruin it. It was alright.
Little Anakin ruined that movie. The little kid that had his Anakin.
I didn't mind him.
Now, the little in the first Phantom
I
Menace,
didn't mind him.
he's just lame.
I guess it's like Clara from Back to the Future 3 killed
Oh,
the movie.
killed the movie.
Like, that would have been the perfect movie ending. Without
And the
that.
thing is, she's not that bad of an actress now. She's been in movies like Step Brothers.
She has been. I just didn't like her in
Yeah,
that
no,
movie.
but that's what I'm saying. She's not that bad. But in Back to the Future, she sucked.
I do you know what it was? I think because she took Doc away from us.
That's what it is.
She took Doc away from us.
I know, because he leaves
You
with
took
her.
us.
I
You
know.
took her. You took him away from us.
Yeah, I've read that. I've read that he was the real. Yeah, apparently he's the Sith Lord.
Who, Jar Jar Binks?
It's like a conspiracy. Leroy, a surfer. That is so hard to do on you, Leroy. The best. Thanks, man. I love it out there. I have a book signed by Lane Beachley. Nice lady.
Lane Beachley. It's wild.
Who's Lane Beachley?
I don't know.
Do you know when I was in Manchester, I had what are they called? It's like the match program. And the match program at Old Trafford is like a book. You know,
Yeah.
when you go on a match day.
Yeah.
And it's like a book. And it had a match day program and it had Alex Ferguson on the front. and me and John met Alex Stepney. Now, if you don't know who Alex Stepney is, he was the goalkeeper that won the European Cup with Manchester United in the 60s.
Right.
And he's like an ambassador for the club. And he come up and he goes to me, he was like signing things. And I go, oh, can you sign my book? And he goes, oh yeah. He goes, I'll sign it on the gaffer's face, like on Alex Ferguson's face.
Yeah.
And he goes, if anyone asks, just tell him it was Alex Ferguson. And he signed it on Alex Ferguson, right? Because his name's Alex.
Yeah.
And he went, and he goes, if anyone asks, just tell him it was Fergie's.
There you
He
go,
was
guys.
wild, man.
You should go for jail for that.
Yeah, he was wild, man. Identity theft. It's conspiracy, but when you connect all the dots, it makes sense. Yeah, I know. I've seen it. Lane, 7 times world surfing champion. Very cool, man. Very cool. What about Kelly Slater?
Kelly Slater was cool.
Was he like, how many times did he win it?
A lot. Probably one of the best ever.
Greece versus New Zealand about to start Basketball World Cup.
Let's go watch it.
There's a Basketball World Cup on?
It must be.
Doesn't America just like win it without trying?
I think other countries have.
Greece are good. Croatia are good. But
Hasn't Greece got that guy from Yannis? Got Yannis?
yeah, I know. But if America actually send their team there, which they probably don't, it's like the Olympic, they will win it. Like they did with the Dream Team in '92.
Maybe not allowed to.
Maybe not. Because it's probably meant to
Why
be.
is America so good at it?
Because it's their sport. They've been playing it longer. They got...
So? Everyone plays it. It's just a sport.
Yeah, I know, but they've got more invested in it, bro. Like it's... They're athletic as well. Like a lot of the African Americans athletic at it. It's...
Yeah, true, they are.
Whereas in other countries, Greece, like say Greece are so good at basketball, but their number one sport is probably soccer.
But they've done more with basketball, haven't they?
I know, but it's because soccer's probably harder to win in. But they won a Euro
I
Cup.
know, but that was unheard of.
They still won it. They still get to say they...
Yeah, true.
Whereas like Croatia, they're real good at basketball, but their number one sport's soccer.
Yeah.
Whereas basketball isn't the number one sport in America, but they've got 3 huge sports: baseball, NFL, and
Because they've got the population.
yeah,
to
and
do
all
it.
of them are massive. So
Basketball.
Giannis is not playing. Damn said.
Oh.
Are the New Zealand basketball team still called the Tall Blacks?
All Blacks.
What Pelican came up with that?
I don't like how you bring Pelicans down, man.
This is what pisses me off about the media. Australia beat England last month in the World Cup netball final. Now there's the Basketball World Cup. Where's the marketing? US have been humiliated in basketball recently. Yeah, but like, was LeBron playing? Were they all playing, like the whole team? Because if they're all there, how they're going to lose?
I don't know, man. I don't follow basketball, so I can't.
I follow the
comment.
NBA.
Yeah,
I'm just
but I
saying,
can't
like-
comment on like world basketball because I don't know who the best teams are. Like even soccer, like I struggle with that. But because I watch the World Cup, you still got a bit of an inkling. But basketball,
Well, you know who won the World Cup?
Argentina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who'd they lose to?
Who was it? Was it Germany?
We watched the first game. They lost to someone. We were all freaking out, remember?
Saudi Arabia?
Yeah.
Yeah, but who'd they win the final?
France.
France, that's right. It was that's right. It was Mbappe.
He scored a hat-trick and lost. Poor
Yeah.
guy. Imagine scoring a hat-trick in a final.
It's probably one of the best finals I've seen.
They reckon it's one of the best finals ever, yeah.
It's good.
Do you know what's so fun? It's like, I know they're 2 different sports, and damn, and that might... GT will probably remember, because he's old enough. It's like when Gary Ablett won the Norm Smith medal,
Exactly like that.
and they lost. Did he kick 8 goals, I think? Did he kick 8?
He kicked like 8.
8 or 9?
Something like that.
I know Buckley did it as well, but his performance wasn't like Ablett's. Not like Gary Ablett's.
Oh, no.
Buckley's was debatable.
In 01.
He won the first one.
In 01. No,
Yeah.
02.
Yeah, maybe.
02.
Yeah. Because Black won one of them.
I think it was 03 Black won.
Yeah, Black won one.
Because the 03 one was a bit of a wipe
Yeah,
out.
well, Black...
But number 02 was more... closer.
Dusty now was one of the only people like Simon Black to win a Brownlow, a Premiership, and a Norm Smith.
Yeah. So Mbappe, going back to him, would he have won best on ground that day?
I would say so.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I remember the game now, but I don't. Listen, Messi probably played good too. Just because he didn't score 3 goals, but he would have played his... See him the other day? He's playing in MLS, and he scored this goal the other day. He's like a cat playing with his food, man.
He loves it.
No, but it's like... you know, like when there's been other greats, like, I don't know, Beckham and all that, they went there. Ibra did well when he went there. Rooney did well. But he's gone there and just still showing
how good he is.
that his league's above everyone there.
Yeah.
And it's like,
So he could go play in Europe still.
easy, man. 9. Yeah, 9. I knew it was 8 or 9.
I would have loved to see him in EPL just for one season at least.
He would have ripped it, bro.
Just
Because
for
when he
one
used to
season.
play the English teams in the Champions League, he used to kill them.
Do you think that's a blemish on his record, not being in the EPL?
No.
No.
Because the EPL was only...
Imagine him in
It's
Manchester.
been like a Super League now, the past 4 or 5 years, but it wasn't always the best league. People will tell you it was, but it wasn't. He was at Barcelona, the best team in the world. So, and he was the best player.
Imagine you had him up forward for Man United.
Oh, loved it.
You would have win a lot of.
Yeah, Modric scored 124 goals in his second season and came second in the Coleman. And you know, he kicked more goals than Ablett that year, and Ablett got the AFL the Coaches Award. And Australian and Modric, because no one knew him, he didn't get nothing.
See, forwards don't win that Coaches Award this year. It's always a
Yeah,
midfielder.
but he got nothing. He didn't even get nothing that year. And he was like 124 in his second year.
Crazy.
The basketball team is doing the haka. Thought only the rugby team did that. Don't all their teams do it? The soccer, everyone does it, don't they?
If they're from New Zealand, they all do it.
But what I don't get, so this is the question I ask, and listen, I plead ignorance if it's rude to anyone. What if you're playing for the rugby team or the soccer team, they're doing the haka and you're not a Maori?
Then you just sit on the side.
Like, do they get in? Do they just stand back?
I'll do it. It's fun. It's like,
No, but what if you don't know it? Like, so what if you're part of the team
I think you have to know.
and they're
it.
doing this haka?
It's like when you sing the song at the end of footy. Like you've got to know the songs. Like
But
that.
what if you don't know the haka? What if you're like a white New Zealand guy?
You just learn it.
What if you just...
It's part of the
What
show.
if it's like your debut and you're like, oh, what? I had to go learn a haka as well. I'm just asking.
Oh, that's a good question.
New Zealand women's team didn't do it, Rob said. The Greek team looks so disinterested. Yeah, that's Greeks.
The Greeks should have.
They would have been there like this. The Greeks would have been there like this.
Yes, the guy to the Malaya.
They would have been like, coin toss, and you would have went, Signomi?
Do you know it? People know that.
No, KP, they all do it. They learn it. Yeah, I'm just asking.
They learn it. Yeah.
But what if, like, you didn't want to do it? Would you not be picked?
I guess so.
That's like, say, if you went to school, you know, like there was a big thing about it. Like, what if you're an atheist and they make your kid, like, do religious stuff in the morning? Can't you say, I don't want to do that if you're not religious? So let's say you're not into the haka. What if you say, I don't want to do it? Would you be dropped? Could you get dropped for not wanting to do the haka?
It's like anything. Like there's rules to follow, and you got to.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Could you get dropped from your
Perhaps.
national team if you didn't do it?
Perhaps, but man,
That's crazy.
It's a camaraderie.
I'm
Like
not saying I'd do it. I'm just asking if someone one day goes,
I don't know.
I don't want to do it, will they get dropped?
I don't know.
No, because they can go to a different school.
Yeah, damn. I bet the Greeks look so
It's
funny.
not giving a shit.
Yeah, they would have.
They would have give a fuck.
Nah.
Well, that's what I'm just like.
Anyway, it's been a good podcast, man.
My friend just sent me a message.
What?
He's sending me. He's transferring me the game that he got recorded of me scoring a hat trick in like 4 minutes.
Can you
When he sends it to me, I'm going to get the hat trick and put it on.
tonight?
Not tonight. Next
week.
podcast.
Next podcast. So, guys, make sure you guys tune in for next podcast because you're going to see Mr. KP. What do they call you on the field, man?
Kez.
Kez. So, Kez, hat trick.
Yeah, he's sending it to me because he got it.
That's what I'm saying.
We got recorded last year, like the
Yeah.
last game of the season, and because he wanted to play a game of ours at presentation night,
Yeah.
and yeah,
That's wild.
I'll have footage.
That's wild.
I remember the Crows spreading out in a line before every game to appear more intimidating.
That was the stance.
That was Don Pike, wasn't it?
That's what they learnt at that camp.
Yeah.
Well, from that company anyway.
Yeah. So the year before, when they didn't do it, they were way better.
It was pretty cool though. I used to go far. They look like they're being business, like you know. I think they overdid it on the grand final.
He got shafted, bro, Pikey, because he had
yeah.
a real good record.
He did.
And he got tarnished by the camp thing that probably wasn't his choice.
Probably not.
And it tarnished him because
Dude.
he was good. He did good. He's been the best coach
You
we've
guys
had.
had a good. You guys, I reckon you guys had a good team.
Dude, they
And then
choked, bro.
They choked. I reckon,
They should have won the grand final.
I reckon that camp thing, like if you took that away, I reckon the next year you could have gone again.
100%. They were the better team.
It's just that killed
They
you,
were
man.
a better team than Richmond. They proved it during the year.
Yeah.
They choked.
Oh yeah, I know.
That's it.
Oh look, it's easy to choke, man.
Power Ranger stance was wild. Podcast episode 69 wild. Pike, any good? Pike was good, man. He
Podcast
was real
69
good.
is wild.
He was good, man. That was the best the Crows have been since they won a flag, like under Pike. Sanderson had him good for 1 or 2 years, but Pike had him better.
I think it stems from that guy that died. What's his name? Walsh. I think he set the foundations for that team that went to
Maybe.
the grand final.
But Pike did well, man.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying he didn't. I just think that he did, and then
We
Pike
were actually not.
modified it into
We
something.
were. Everyone was saying how good Walsh was, but we weren't actually that good under him. But
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was probably laying the foundations. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the best to all of you participants, and the boys were super. Thank you to all of your kind words. Thanks, Barbara.
Thanks, Barbara.
Does Chris call you Barbs?
Yeah, Barbs.
Do you call her Barbs?
No.
Nah. Why'd you say yeah then? Say hey, Barbs. When you get home, you're gonna go.
Hey, Barbs.
You're gonna go, hey, Barbs.
Hey, Barbara. Nah, I'll just say Barb. Can't say
Talk.
Barb.
He might come to Hest Coast until they confirm Simo. I would rather Pike at the moment. Listen, Simo's won a flag, but at this moment in time, if I was a West Coast fan, I would have rathered Pike.
Simo is staying. They've
No, that's
actually
what he's
come out and
saying.
said,
He's
yeah,
saying they were saying Pike was going to
Pike-
go
oh,
there.
they were gonna go, yeah,
but what
yeah.
I'm saying is, I know Simo's won a flag, but at this moment in time, if they said to me, who would you want? I'd take Pike.
Where is Pike now?
He's just living there. He's got a business. He had a real good business.
Yeah, but is
I
he
think he lives over there.
Is he like working with West Coast?
No, I just think he lives over there.
No, I think he's got a gig
Oh,
somewhere.
he might. Yeah, he might.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so on your Barbara, come back and share your wisdom anytime and buy my book. That would be good too. Demons for the Flag. Pikes with Sydney. Oh, he's with Sydney. There you go.
Oh, there you go.
But, yeah, like I said, I know he's won a flag, Simo, but because of everything that's happening at West Coast at the moment, I think a fresh start would have been better. Wouldn't you have rathered Pike if you were in that situation right now? Just so it's a change?
I don't know. I mean,
Because it'll be a change, bro. Like, it's gone through too much shit there, man.
I think West Coast found out how much they have to pay to release him,
Maybe.
and that's why they didn't get rid
And
of. That's
Pike,
why.
Yeah, probably.
So maybe when his contract's up, they could look at
Maybe.
that. But at the moment, I think they're just leaving it with what's his name?
Simo. And the thing about Pike is, he showed with the Crows, like you said, he was pretty good at developing. He might have gone there. They're getting these new. He might have developed them better than Simo.
Do you think Pike being at the Crows now would have been better than
Nick? Yep.
I think Nick's has done well.
Why?
For what he's done.
So what did he do? He went from 15th to 13th.
No, but
That's wild.
I understand he didn't win the games, but there's a lot of improvement in that
It
team.
is. But you always say, this is you.
Yeah,
You always go about stats.
true.
He finished 13th, didn't he?
Yeah, true. No,
12th.
11th.
Oh. So.
Is it 11th or 12th?
And I agree with John. If he doesn't make finals next year, that's
well,
it.
pretty
I think
much.
he's got one last chance.
Pretty much, they would have made finals. It was a blunder.
No, but
Yeah, but I understand.
if you're looking at it from a
All right, all those games.
you're
they
looking
lost.
at it from a
Yeah,
sports point of view, if they
Yeah.
had just won one more game that they shouldn't have lost, he would have made finals anyway. It wouldn't have mattered. The decision, no one would be going on about it.
Yeah. Nah, you're right.
So
You're right.
what if next year?
If he next
No.
year if he
What
doesn't make anything,
What if next year he keeps losing these close games again? That means
That means that he's probably have like I don't know how long his contract is, but you have to look at that. Because to me, right, Tex Walker has been great for you guys, and the reason why the Crows have won a lot of games is because of Tex Walker. Because he's kicked so many goals, man. Like over nearly 75 goals. He was the big difference in that forward line. You
see,
know?
Dam says the only thing that fucked up our season was goal kicking. and goal kicking is totally up to the players.
It is, but I'm
You know,
saying
but you can't tell me if you go back on every game, even when we lost to GWS, that we only lost because of goal kicking. That's impossible. There's too many factors in a footy game. There will be games like Collingwood. There will be games like Collingwood that goal kicking probably did matter. We should have kicked goals and won. But there'll be games that we didn't lose to the Bulldogs in Ballarat because of goal kicking. We got smashed by a team that's shit.
How about
got smashed by
Gold Coast?
Gold Coast.
You were up 40 points.
Exactly. That's not to do with goal kicking. That's being shit. And I know, man, I've played sport. I've been in a team, we were 3-0 up and lost at halftime. And it's not to do with goal kicking. It's you've switched off, thought you've won the game, and lost. And there will be those games that Dan said, I agree. The Collingwood one comes to mind.
There are
the
some.
Collingwood one, maybe
the
Sydney one probably as well. But the Ballarat one, isn't it?
The Sydney,
look how shit Bulldogs are.
The Sydney one, they were bad for at least
That's what I'm saying.
half, more than just a half.
How shit are the Bulldogs, bro? Everyone's saying it. They're shit.
Yeah, this year.
We went to Ballarat and got spanked.
They got a good.
If you're
list,
but if you're a good team, you should go win there.
Well, they're complaining that they're playing at Ballarat, but you should. The way I see it, you should win. Doesn't matter where you go, you should.
But
be
that's
able
what
to
I'm
win anywhere.
saying. If you're a good team,
You should be able to win anywhere.
it doesn't matter
Where you go.
where you go.
No, it doesn't.
Like Man City didn't turn around last year and go, oh, fuck, we had a lot of away games. They just went there and won them.
Right.
Same as Arsenal. Same as.
Right. No, I agree with you, man.
And listen, I'm a Crows fan.
But in saying what you're saying, I think Nick's has still done a good job this year. I know that he hasn't done anything yet, but I think still you got to give him some sort of credit for like. But it depends how harsh you are as a critic, man. You know, where winning is everything.
In AFL, you have to be harsh because there's only one prize.
Correct.
In AFL,
You only win one.
In AFL, there's
Yeah,
a
I know.
cycle that gets people into a premiership window, and every team goes through it. Whether they win it or not is up to the coach and the players, so they have to be judged. Port is a prime example. They've been through probably 2 premiership windows with Hinkley and haven't won it, and that's why a lot of Port fans
Yeah.
don't like him.
Yeah.
Because you have to judge him, whereas Geelong have been through these windows and won flags. So Scott has done a good job.
Well, he's won 2.
He
now.
won when he first went there, when they were in a premiership
First year,
window,
yeah,
and then he won again later. So he's won.
They're always in the premiership
But
window.
that's what I mean.
them.
Richmond went through a premiership window. He won 3 flags.
Yeah.
In AFL, you have to judge harshly. In soccer, it's
Yeah.
completely different because a team's goal in soccer could be to stay up.
Or
A
4.
team's goal in soccer could be 4th. Another team's goal could be 10th. Only about 3 or 4 teams' goal is to win it, realistically. Whereas,
There's only one trophy.
yeah.
So
See, and like
they're
that,
hard to win them, man.
like-
they are hard to win. The AFL title was hard to win.
Dan says some games we lost because we were off. Most of the games we lost because we couldn't kick straight.
Yeah.
That's what we said. That's what I'm saying.
I just think
If he was a good coach, they wouldn't be off. And that's how I judge coaches. If you're a good coach, more often than not, your team shouldn't be off
Yeah.
because you should be able to lift them.
Yeah.
Knicks, I'm telling you, from a player's point of view, someone that's been in a change room, Knicks doesn't have that persona of like a Lee Matthews, a big-time coach, because he's very softly spoken. He might have all the tactics, everything, and it might sound harsh, but when people are like that,
Yeah.
it's hard for them to get you up.
I don't know, man.
I'm not saying he's bad. He did better this year.
I think he did a lot better this
He did
year.
better
But
this
I'm
year,
not saying
but-
I'm not saying he's the best coach or anything.
But he
But
did better, but he should have
Yeah.
made finals. And in the end, even if Dam's right, you can't sack 20 players.
no.
You sack a coach. The coach's head is on the chopping block, not the players. So if they're not kicking straight, do more kicking training.
Correct. Yeah, you're right.
If you've lost 6 games because of kicking, like Dam's saying, that's 100% the coach's fault because he should have them there practicing goal kicking.
But can you blame the players as well?
Of course you can.
You can.
Everyone's to blame. They're all to blame. It's a collective. But a coach picks the sessions. So if they can't kick straight, if we're shooting bad in soccer, we go do shooting.
Yeah.
If a keeper is struggling with crosses, they'll put him in goal and hit crosses on his head so he can practice.
I remember when I used to play footy, man. There was some games you'd score like a lot of goals, and then other games you just couldn't. I don't know why. It was just something about the day. I don't know. You just could not get going, and maybe sometimes that happens to everyone. Does that happen to you when you can just feel you're not having a good game?
Yeah, it happens to everyone.
Yeah. It's the worst feeling, eh?
See
It's the worst feeling.
Like Dam says, look at the last quarter of Sydney game. Nix is a firecracker up everyone's ass, and they won the game. Yeah, but he did it at 3/4 time.
Yeah, where was the last 3 quarters?
Exactly.
Sydney just stopped as
And
well.
Dam, I know exactly where you're coming from, Dam. When it's your coach,
Yeah,
it's hard to criticize them because it's your team.
it is hard.
I struggle like that with United and that. It's hard when you like the players, it's your team.
It is hard.
It's hard to criticize them because
It
you
is.
like them.
I mean, I've been criticized. I've criticized Hinkley a lot,
Mate, yeah, I know you have.
but he got us 13 in a row, right? He's got us to a top 4 spot. So how can I complain?
And I agree.
I can't complain. Now, does he deserve another 2 years? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
I think they should have waited to see if he won it.
Correct. That's what I think.
Because
too.
AFL is judged on flags.
But I just still think, as I've said this before on record, I still think he's, what he's done for us, and maybe we can't. It is what it is. We're not part of the intersection of the club. We don't know exactly what they're doing.
That's right.
And maybe there is a succession plan, or what, I don't know what they're doing with Josh
You
Carr.
don't know because you're not there. That's
Correct. So whatever, you just got to do whatever the club does. You got to just accept, because you can't change it.
Yeah.
You could be pissed off, but I don't think it's worth ripping up your membership for it.
No. I'm not saying that.
That's what people are doing.
I'm not saying Nix is the next Messiah. I'm just saying he's doing a really good job.
Yeah. I reckon if you had a bad year this year, you wouldn't be saying that.
I think he's a year behind. And like I said, might be a harsh critic, but for whatever factors, I don't care about the kick, everything. Crows should have made finals this year. And they didn't. It's like me with United this year. Man United finished 3rd last year.
Yeah.
If we finished below 3rd, Ten Hag's failed. I don't care. And I love him. But you have to be like that.
I just think if you got rid of Tex from that team, your scoring power will hurt a lot.
Of course it will. But that's like any team. If you get rid of your main...
But he's older. He's old, and he's a star.
Yeah, but what about Tottenham? They got rid of Harry Kane and they're playing better.
I know.
Because now it's
could be wrong.
But now it's a collective.
I could be wrong, but
I'm just saying.
I just think, yeah, he's just. I mean,
but he's got another year in him like that because he's playing that role now very stationary. He's not going up, the ground as much.
Yeah, and he's a good shot.
Yeah, he's always been a good shot. They always used to say about Franklin. They were like, if Franklin could kick as good as Tex, I remember them saying it back in the day, he would have had way more goals.
Yeah. No, it's going to be interesting. Next year will be an interesting year, but yeah.
Herve Renard's speech to the Saudi Arabia players, 0-1 down versus Argentina, is on YouTube. No tactics. He blasted them. They scored twice and caused a massive upset. There you go. Well, remember I told you what Sir Alex said to... I know it's your team, and it's like... It sounds like I'm giving you shit, but it's one of the most iconic speeches ever. United were losing 3-0 to Tottenham. And he went in there, and they were all losing it, and he just sat there. And it's the most iconic team talk ever, they reckon. He looked at them. He goes, "Are you done?" And they looked at him and he goes, "It's fucking Tottenham, lads." And he walked out. And they went out and won 5-3.
There you go. That's a bit rough.
But it was just...
Yeah.
He knew things to say. Like
Oh, yeah, to get in their minds. Yeah.
He was...
Well, that's a good coach.
He was the best. The best man manager ever.
Yeah.
Man management, best ever. Might not have been the best tactician, but best man manager ever.
Yeah. He knows how to get in their heads and make them perform.
Yeah.
Which is...
Alan Shearer was telling a story about him. He goes, when I signed for Newcastle, he goes, I was going to sign for Man United. He goes, I had a meeting with Kevin Keegan. He goes, Alex Ferguson came and met me. And he goes, didn't even say hello to me. he looked at me and he goes, "Am I first or second?" And Shearer goes, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Am I speaking to you first or second?" And he goes, "Oh, I just had a meeting with Kevin Keegan." And Alex Ferguson goes, "Well, I'm fucking done." And he goes, "What do you mean?" And Alex goes to him, he goes, "Well, first impressions last." And he goes, and because he said that to me, he goes, "It made that impression last." He goes, I went to sign for Man U. He goes, and then Newcastle came back in because it was his boyhood club.
Yeah.
He goes, "I ended up going to them." He goes, "But," he goes, "the only reason I was going to go is because of Alex." He goes, "The way he spoke, because it was just," he goes, "He'd like got in with my mum. He goes, he'd messaged my mum and he was just the best. Man management, nothing came near him.
Yeah.
He was unbelievable.
Well, if you had a lot of those at the Crows, you wouldn't have lost a lot of players.
There would have been no camp if Alex Ferguson, someone like that, was involved. Because if he had have seen them do it, he would have laughed at them and told them to get fucked.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't have cared. He used to do it live on TV.
Yeah.
He said to the BBC one day, they asked him a question he didn't like, and he goes, "You get the fuck out." He said it live on TV, and then the BBC was banned from Man United press
Really?
conferences for 10 years.
Jeez.
10 years, bro. They only got back in when he quit.
Unbelievable.
Because that was his persona. He didn't care.
Nothing wrong with that, man.
He
No.
didn't care.
Interesting.
There's another one. You won't know him, but Brian Clough is very revered as well. He was sort of like a Fergie before Fergie. He was like that. He rang up Gary Lineker to sign him, and he goes, "Hey, Gary Lineker," he goes, it's Mr. Clough. He goes, "It's Brian Clough here," and he goes, Gary Lineker went to him, "Oh, how you doing, Mr. Clough?" And he goes, "Oh, call me Brian."
Call me Brian.
Yeah, and then he goes to him, "Oh, would you think about coming to Nottingham Forest?" And Lineker rejected him, and he goes, "Oh." He goes, "So you don't want to come to my club?" And he goes, "Oh, no." And he goes, "No, Brian." And he goes, No. He goes, "Call me Mr. Clough." And he hung up.
Oh, really?
Because they just had personas.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
Interesting. Yeah. How about, what was that guy in America, Lombardi? He was
yeah,
like
he
that.
was like that.
He was like that.
Well, like Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
He was very, you know,
Yeah.
he's
Look, it's hard to get those kind of
kumbaya, GT says, because we were talking about the camp.
kumbaya. I'm not going to do it.
Sir Alex would have killed one of those. I'm telling you. You know, like when the story come out that they brought up Sam Jacobs' brother that passed away of cancer.
Oh, he would have lost it.
It would have killed him. There would have been like, there's a guy that kicked a soccer boot at David Beckham's head and split his head open. And the world didn't say, imagine that was today
Oh, my God.
with social media. No one cared. It happened. You know what everyone said? Everyone was like, "Oh, well, he shouldn't have talked back to the manager." And this guy was the biggest persona in the world at the time.
Yeah.
If that was now,
That was now. Forget about it.
it'd be a soldier.
Yeah, I guess times have changed, man. So it's hard to find coaches like that. You know, I think Hinckley's a good coach of men, but
Yeah, he probably is. He's probably a good man.
I think they love him. So
See, there's a fine. I think there's always a fine line.
maybe
with
he's
that.
gone too far.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Maybe.
We used to have this coach that he was the best coach, and then the minute he became friends with the players, it all
He
went
went down. Maybe that's what's happening.
because they start looking at you like a
Look,
mate.
yeah, I mean, look, it's yet to be seen if they win it this year. I don't know, but I think
If he wins it, he's succeeded.
finally,
He's succeeded because he's finally won it. That's
see what happens. But guys,
kumbaya.
kumbaya! It's been a great podcast.
It has been a great podcast.
We had a good chat about the prisons, and it was a really good topic.
Dino just sent me WeTransfer.
There we go.
It came through.
Well, let's watch it.
I can't get it now.
We'll do it next week.
Because I would have to cut it and find where it is.
We'll do it next week, guys. So make sure you guys tune in next week. The hat trick will be shown.
That's wild.
That is
I
wild.
got footage of me scoring a hat trick finally. Got footage.
Guys, no.
GT, I'll bring it up for GT.
Are you doing a EPL watch along thing this week?
Don't know.
Okay.
But I'll definitely be doing the EPL show Monday. And I guess I'll do a gaming Friday.
Yeah, because there's no AFL this week, guys. So,
So we'll do
no AFL, nothing.
Yeah, we'll get on the gaming. Go say hello
Yeah.
to Temp.
On tab.
On Temp. On.
No, it's been a good show, guys. Thanks for everyone for coming in.
It's been good.
Make sure you check out our merch. Down
Oh, the
bottom.
merch.
Go check it out, guys.
I want to, you know what? I forgot, one of us hasn't even liked it. Here we go.
Make sure you like.
Hey, GT, have you liked the video?
I hope GT has.
I bet you he hasn't.
But thanks for Barbara for the super chats.
Thanks, Rob, for the
Rob
super
for the
chat.
super chat. Everyone who put a super chat in.
19 likes.
19 likes. Unbelievable.
Come on, one more. Can we get one more?
20 likes would really help us out.
Come on. One more like, man. Can we get one more like?
Did I like it?
I bet you didn't like it. GT didn't like it.
No, I did like it.
I've liked GT. It's the first time I've seen him say he liked it. Usually he's like, fuck.
No, I did like it. I did like it.
Oh, guys, well,
It's been a good show,
it was
mate.
good.
As we said, we're going to be a bit quiet this weekend, but
We'll do gaming. We'll do Premier League. Is there any ideas for next week's topic?
let us know in the Discord. Join the Discord, guys. In the description below, the link's there.
Is GT, are you in the Discord, man? What's going on?
He's in there.
Yeah, I know. I'll start paying him out.
If you got anything you want us to talk about, let us know in the Discord. Or I know Dan doesn't have it, but
Damn. Fuck's sake, man.
get some Discord.
Download Discord. It's not hard. Click the link and join the Discord.
Click the link below.
You might even be put as HFD royalty. Go eat something this weekend, GT says. Maybe he's not saying do a food review.
Do a food review. Yeah, we might do a food review. But it'll be on the other channel, but so
Microphones will never be silenced.
I might go try the KFC, that hot burger.
You'll die.
I
You'll be
know,
like,
but that's
you know, when you had the hot trip, you're like, oh no,
That is
dude,
the point.
Jimmy was like dying.
yeah, I might do it food. So guys, if you're not
You're going
subscribed,
to be so out of
if you're
touch editing a video.
I know. If you're not subscribed to the food channel, make sure you go subscribe. Hunkyfooddudes.
I can't wait to see you. It's going to bring back memories, you editing a video.
I know.
I've got to be in on this food review.
I love food reviews.
What
you
day
should
are you
do-
working this week?
Huh?
What days are you working?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Should we review the burger just real quickly on Friday night?
Friday night. It's my first day shift.
It's just a review. We're just going to videotape it and go.
I'll just come here and do it.
And we'll videotape it and see you later.
Yeah. Yeah. Hit or miss.
Hit or miss. Hit or miss.
And that, my friends, is
GT's cracking
Hit
up. He's like,
or
Jimmy
miss.
ran to the bathroom. He did. That was during the World Cup, wasn't it?
yeah.
Freaked out. And Chris freaked out when we were watching Paranormal Activity.
I love it.
That chip was hot.
Yeah.
Rob did it
Well, did he?
during the World Cup, remember? And he didn't have a drink for 10 minutes.
But Rob's Dr. Laz.
He's Dr. Laz. He's probably like a bird, like doesn't have a chili.
No.
Like it doesn't affect him. And he was
Doesn't
just making out. He was like, yeah, it's hot, but
It's
it's
hot,
like,
it's
didn't
alright.
affect him.
Well, thanks a lot, guys, for coming in. We'll
Thanks,
see you
guys.
next time, guys.
See you next time. Stay hunky.
Stay hunky, guys.
Like we said, like, share,
And-
subscribe.
And keep out of jail.
Keep out of jail, 100%. No prison. And like we said, if there's any topics you want us to talk about, put it in the Discord or in a comment, whatever.
And go
Do
to
it.
power. Go to power.
No. United 4-0 against Arsenal this weekend.
Go to Spurs.
It's Arsenal United this weekend.
Is it?
Are you going to tip United?
United who?
Arsenal. It's at Arsenal's ground.
No, Arsenal.
Come on, man. I'm
Hey,
tipping
man, I'm
Spurs.
trying to win $200.
I'm tipping Spurs. Oh, Jimmy never answered the
No
question
chance.
before we go. He's there. Did Jimmy support anyone in the Premier League before Ange went to Tottenham? I want to know. I want him to tell me.
It's a good question. I don't know.
Good question, Aguado.
Good question, Guado.
Liverpool with a win this week. Liverpool got a good game this week.
Have they?
Yes. Liverpool.
Looking good.
They're all right. He liked Leeds. Well, they're not there, so it's all right.
Leeds.
Leeds, terrible. All right, guys. Thanks
All
for
right,
watching.
guys. Stay hunky.
Take it easy.
Bye-bye.